because it is time. Greetings, brothers and sisters from all around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. Glad to be with you all here again for another edition of the program that laid the foundation upon which all of these red pill, MGTOW, high value posers, frauds, alpha male phonies, and all the rest of them have stolen and copycatted everything they're going to be messing up next week. You'll be hearing it here tonight. And boy, oh boy, one in particular here. Now, there are some lessons. We're going to get into some people tonight here. There's going to be a lot. Tonight's program is jam-packed here because there are some lessons that need to be learned, and this may be tough for a lot of you here. I know a lot of the guys may be listening going nuts. They don't like to hear this kind of stuff sometimes because it kind of reminds you where your game might need some tightening up. Can't lie to you, fellas. Your game might need some tightening up in that regard. So let's go ahead and just have a brutally honest assessment of that. And by the way, definitely, especially, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Very important that we do that. Very important that we do that. You want to go ahead and do that. Very important. Now, what I want to do here is I want to discuss what some folks have been talking about. If you saw about the rapper DaBaby, and I don't really deal with rappers like that, but I do discuss power dynamics. And I saw a situation here where the power dynamics are really, really flagrant in this regard. Long story short, he's another one of these rappers who's got a bunch of baby mamas, of course, because that's so great for the world, by the way. Well, anyway, in an odd turn of events, apparently there was an altercation between him and one of his latest baby mamas, and she winds up going to jail or being arrested for simple assault on him. So in a day and age where usually they grab black men for anything they can, amazingly enough, I think the police got called out more than once. They didn't do anything the first time that he called them out. And then the second time that he called them out, they they arrested her for simple assault. But the real thing is what caused the events, what caused it to happen here. And DaBaby actually was recording the events as they unfolded here. He was actually recording it, and I found this all to be very, very interesting. So here he is recording it, and I think her name is Danileigh. If I'm saying it wrong, okay, I'm saying it wrong, but her name is Danileigh, and he's sitting there recording the events. There's some other female, I don't know who this is, standing there on your screen right now. But anyway, you're going to see him arguing with her, and he eventually says something that sets it off. And I want to get into here tonight exactly why it is, because there is a very potent lesson about power dynamics that all men can learn in this regard. And there's several mistakes that were made. And of course, the mistakes kind of explain themselves, but we're going to get into that tonight also about what happens when a man doesn't handle his business. But I want to go ahead and play for you some of what occurred here so you can hear exactly how it transpired and what was it that made her so upset that she was willing to go to jail for it.
You're such a good ass father.
I'm not trying to be. Listen.
You're not. You're not.
He's a great father.
Okay.
And you know that, Danny.
Okay.
He's a great father, right?
Okay.
He's a great father.
Okay.
No, he's a great father, right?
Okay. Sure.
She's
You
a
asked me
crazy
when I was
bitch.
pregnant.
You wasn't my girl.
I wasn't your girl.
Danny.
Danielle,
I wasn't your girl.
you ain't never been my
His brother
girl.
is right there.
My
And
brother-
He call me his girl all the time. Don't
You know,
say it.
Shawty.
All right, now, first and foremost, she tries to pull a power play right here. You know the saying that listen to what a person says when they're angry with you, because not when they are sitting there quiet and reposed. Listen to what they say when they're angry with you, because that's the real them. That's what they really feel. And he was upset with her, and he said, "You ain't never been my girl." And what is she? She immediately responds to that one. That triggers her. What? I ain't never been your girl, because she knows he's recording that. And she knows if DaBaby's recording something, it's going to everybody everywhere. So he's publicly sitting here saying, you ain't never been my girl. Not you're not. You ain't never been. She immediately jumps on that. Why? Because that's where her status comes from. he's basically confirming everything I've taught you all here for years. If you've been listening, your high value posers never could explain it to you. A woman gains her status by the quality of the man that she's with. And what she is saying is that my status comes from my connection to this man. And he flexed that status by saying, I am now stripping you of your status of being able to officially associate yourself with me. I'm stripping you of all that publicly. I mean, this is some monarch stuff when you think about it. I'm publicly stripping you of your status. She immediately reflexively responds to that. She doesn't sit there and say, I don't give a damn. She's like, what? Really? And then she appeals to his brother. And as you can see, his brother is sitting there quiet as hell. What does that let you know? That lets you know, Danny, that everybody knew. Everybody was in on it. Everybody recognized what reality was except you.
You wasn't my girl.
I wasn't your girl.
Danielle.
I wasn't your girl.
You ain't never been my girl.
His brother is right there.
My
Doesn't
brother.
he call me his girl all the time? Don't
You know Shawty is theirs.
Oh my God.
What you know, Shawty? Bro, hey, look, bro. This nigga know to have that phone out, man.
That's funny.
This is some trapper black nigga shit playing gone wrong.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Stop fucking showing.
Yeah, this is trying to trap a nigga going wrong. I'm not
Trying to
going.
trap a nigga? Are you crazy?
Shawty,
You just came at me last night, you idiot.
Shawty, you beg me. You be
just came at
begging me.
last night, you idiot.
This some jail.
I asked
Hey,
you
somebody
why
tell
you
Maury to
coming.
call
I
baby,
asked
man.
you.
Let me run up.
So now she's trying to say that he is recklessly ejaculating and whatnot, which is not news. I mean, she knew that from all the other women. So isn't it very interesting? Females, all of a sudden, it's dishonorable to be sitting up here having reckless sex and unprotected sex, and then all of a sudden they can sure call you out on that. So ladies, if you really want to not look silly, don't go around having unprotected sex and then think you're going to wag the finger and be the moral authority of people on having unprotected sex.
Quick 10M.
Yeah, okay. Don't ever
Let me run up.
disrespect our
Let me
fucking
run up a
child
quick
like that.
10M. Somebody tell Maury to call
Yeah,
me,
don't
man.
don't
Let's put
fucking
this
do
shit
that.
on Mars. Shorty is more material. Get up out my crib. Come on, get off my table.
No, get outside.
They
This
don't
is
come out
outside.
here.
Oh my God.
Get up off my
So
table,
funny.
Shorty.
Oh my God, no.
No, this shit staying on. Call them people to come get Shorty up out my spot.
Go ahead,
Please,
call them to
call
get
them-
you and your
call them
child out
folks.
your spot. Go ahead. Call
I'm
them.
stuck.
All right, so this is another thing right here. Fellas, it is very, very important. You got to understand something here. So now he's saying he wants her out of his place. So this ain't a Columbus Short situation. It's not a Columbus Short situation. Remember, I've taught you about what are the pillars that a man is looking for there. And yes, I know my posers are running around talking about power, wealth, and influence. Okay, it's embarrassing. But when I discuss power, that power, wealth, influence, resources. So you're talking about a guy who's got the name. You're talking about somebody who's making things happen. And then she's sitting under the affluent conditions that he's provided. As I taught you, fellas, he's given her something to lose. We will get back to his flaws and shortcomings here, because understand something here. This is not handling your business properly, but I want you to understand the lessons right here, because a lot of you fellas have been caught in situations right now. And let's be very, very clear. What hurts you most about your relationships with other people, females in particular, is when you don't feel like you got the upper hand. Most relationships are ended by the females, and the female ain't never tried to fight, and I mean literally fight, to get back with you. Well, that tells you something about your status. She's sitting there right now like, I'm not going no damn where, call the police or whatever, I'm staying right here. You know why? Because she has never been in as good a position as she is in right now, and he is literally sitting there publicly stripping her. 80% of the males today are chasing most of the females and failing. And what I'm saying is that take a look at what happened. Take a look at when you maneuver yourself and position yourself under the right circumstances. I'm not saying I agree with the way he lives his life completely, holistically, by any stretch of the imagination, but I want you to go ahead and recognize the power dynamic here. He has provided a very nice place, a very nice roof over her head. She has been given that status that females all over the place are trying to get. They dream about, they sit up here and fantasize about. And bam, in the chat room, I know who she is. Just calm down. Stop. I hate it when folks call my name in the chat room. You're supposed to be listening to me. I'm not here to learn from you. You listen to me. You got nothing to teach. In any case, what you're showing there is that he's provided affluent trappings. She's got the life. She's got the name. She's sitting there in it. And then he just shows up on a random Sunday. Get out. I'm done. Yeah. Whatever it was you did, that's it. That's it. There are lessons to be learned from that is what I'm telling you. He gave her something to lose. He's sitting in the resources. He's got the spigot turned on and he has the ability to turn the faucet off at any moment. And the best power move is when you demonstrate, you know what? I can turn this thing on or off whenever I choose. And what he's doing is showing, hey, shawty, you got to get out, bounce, bye. He's not sitting there grabbing on her and clinging and whatnot. He is showing through his actions, not his words. He is demonstrating through his actions, not his words. He is not saying he is valuable. He is demonstrating through his actions that he is valuable. Through what he's doing. He's not sitting there arguing. He didn't say I'm the king or DaBaby. Did you notice that? He didn't tell her I'm the boss. He didn't say nothing. He just got to acting. He got to doing things. He's not sitting there arguing this, that, and the other. He just got to making consequences start jumping off. That's the way that real power moves. Real power makes it clear to you the sun's going to come up tomorrow just fine without you here. And I will show you through my actions. This goes for an employer. This goes for a relationship. This goes for constructing a building. This goes for a partnership. This is across the board. So recognize he showed through his actions what his value is. Shawty, you got to get out.
Put this shit on Mars. Shorty is more material. Get up out my crib. Come on, get off my table.
Get outside.
They don't come out here.
Oh my God.
Get up off my table, shawty.
Oh my God, no.
No, this shit staying on. Call them people to come get shawty up out my spot.
Go ahead,
Please,
call them to get
call
you and your
call them
child out
folks.
your spot. Go ahead.
I'm stuck. Hey, help.
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 You're such a fucking dick.
Help, hey,
You're
help
so
me,
funny,
nigga.
bro.
Hey,
You're so
why you sitting there? Do something.
Do something.
Do something, bro. And where's my baby?
Oh, you don't
You see what I'm
care.
saying? Like, Steph, come on.
Your baby is sleeping. I just put her to sleep.
Go
like I
back
do
there
every
with,
single
go
day.
with her. Or go,
No.
see what
I'm
I'm saying?
not talking about my business
You-
like that. The
girl,
fuck? That ain't
girl.
something, girls. Ain't nobody was a part of my pregnancy.
All right. Now, she was the one who brought the baby into it saying, yeah, kick me and your baby out. So what does that tell you? That tells you that she was unable to convince him or persuade him to make her a wife. She was perfectly willing to use her womb as a handcuff and found out that there are certain dudes you can't handcuff with a womb because he doesn't really have an attachment to his offspring like that. You see, ladies, if you want to know why it is that being a baby mama immediately turns men off, is because what you're demonstrating is that you don't have any value for men who respect their own genes. So let me just go ahead and call that what it is, baby. You can't play Russian roulette or have a Mexican standoff with somebody who doesn't really value their genes. He doesn't really care about you. Truth be told, he ain't really worried about the kid like that. So you're not going to be able to handcuff him. Remember what I've taught you all. A man's attachment to a child is no stronger than his attachment to the woman, to the mother. So if he's strongly attached to the woman, he'll be strongly attached to the children. If he's not strongly attached to the woman and has a track record of not being strongly attached to women, then guess what? He's not going to be strongly attached to the offspring either. So these women are trying to imprint loyal values on men who don't value that. You're trying to imprint, the principles of legacy on men who don't value legacy. That's what you're trying to do. Well, what about your kids? What you're really saying is, what about your legacy? Well, if he doesn't value legacy in those ways, on those terms, then guess what? You've been disarmed before you even start the fight. You don't have anything to negotiate with. You're walking out here unarmed.
You weren't a part of my pregnancy. You don't need to tell nobody nothing. The fuck?
See, she don't want me to put out her real business, what her and her family got going on. That's the real issue.
That's not nothing to do with us.
This girl got a real...
Let me go ahead and back it up so you can hear what she just said.
Go with her or go...
No,
See what
get off
I'm
line talking about my business
You-
like
my-
that. The
girl,
fuck? That ain't
girl.
something, girls. Ain't nobody was a part of my pregnancy. You weren't a part of my pregnancy. You don't need to tell nobody nothing. The fuck?
See, she don't want me to put out her real business, what her and her family got going on. That's the real issue.
That's not nothing to do with us.
This girl got a real,
Now, is she saying that he wasn't a part of her pregnancy? Ladies, how many of y'all are sitting here with dudes who didn't have anything to do with you? You got pregnant and you basically were flying solo. It's all fun and games when you think you got a welfare system and a government safety net to sit up here and promote slut culture. Then when the fella you get pregnant by your little playmate doesn't keep playing along with you, you want to appeal to the public for sympathy. Ain't gonna happen. You're a grown woman. These are choices that you made. You watched all these other females make the same mistakes and you couldn't wait to make it with them. Nah, no sympathy here.
A real Matilda story type shit going on, that I tried to save my child from.
Save your child.
She got to save her face. Her family got to save her face. My family's not in the industry. Me being in the industry, that take care of my family. It's a difference.
16 years old, sorry. That's why
I didn't when I hey look,
right?
yeah, I didn't I didn't skeeted in the wrong thing. I got to deal with what come with that.
Yeah.
But my last name Kirk is what I do.
Okay.
So I take whatever come with that, full responsibility. But Shawty is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Shawty is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And Shawty is not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My
It's
side
your
bitch.
what?
Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Now, did you see the way she ran up behind him? When he said that right there, she literally was laying hands on him when he said that. He said that on camera, and once again, it is the not claiming her. First, he said, you ain't never been my girl. You ain't never been my girl. You saw how she responded. And then when he says, you just the side chick, take a look at how she responded to that.
Shawty is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My
It's
side
your
bitch.
what?
Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Now, once again, take a look at the way she runs up on him.
Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My
It's
side
your
bitch.
what?
So as you can see, she literally runs up on him. So what is this about? This is about him saying that I'm not claiming you. This is about him disowning her. Fellas, remember when you go back to the video about the video, if you can go, I might have to timestamp this. Need my mods to take care of that. I want to timestamp this for my other video about what it is that a female admires about a man. And what he's saying is, I'm stripping the status from you here. I'm publicly stripping. It's not about shaming you. It's I'm stripping you. You ain't never been my girl. You a certified side chick. But that's it. And he's saying it straight up in public, up front, in such a blatant way. There's going to be no ambiguity about it. You can't, fellas, those words don't bother a woman if you don't matter. If you don't matter, those words don't bother her. Those words bother her when you matter. Those words bother her when you are cutting the relationship off. Those words bother her when she is losing something. So he went back to saying it about she's never been my girl. He goes back to that, and then certified side chick. And you see this visceral, physical, violent response that she has to that. This little old chick here, immediately he says that, and she turns around and literally runs up on him.
Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My
It's
side
your
bitch.
what?
Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Now, we all know what that looked like right there. She looked like she was walking up on him to hit him.
Been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
Okay, now we all know that right there. We all know that right there. She was walking up on him to hit him. She was walking up on him to hit him. She was walking up on him and she was about to hit him. If she hadn't been on camera, she would have hit him. You see that she ran straight up on him. He's sitting down and she was going to go to swinging on him. What did he say that was worth that? He didn't call her a slut or nothing like that. He just said, you my side chick. He was simply articulating where she falls in the order. And what she is illustrating to you is how much value she places in him. That's the point I want to make. That is what this brings you to. She's illustrating, this is how much value I put in him.
Shawty is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And Shawty is not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My side bitch. Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Now, this Danileigh chick, she's got like a music career thing of her own. I think she did a song, I was looking it up, something called Levi High. I don't know if she had a deal with Levi's over that or not. I don't know if she did. But okay, she got a little old career of her own. And take a look at how she's responded. She isn't falling back on what she's got. She's like, what? Take a look at the response there. So what she's telling you, she has something more important. There's something that matters to her more. And that is the lesson I want fellas to understand. This is deeper than rap. Shout out Rick Ross. This goes deeper than money. It is about when you have all those things in place and evenly balanced. Take a look at the response you get. I submit to you all that you're fresh and misfits and roll up to my don't know a damn thing about social proof. I submit to you, fellas, if you want an adult explanation of social proof, this is social proof. If you don't have this, you ain't got nothing.
For Cocoa Puff. And Shawty is not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My side bitch. Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Fellas, if you ain't never had that reaction from a female, that female didn't really fool with you like that. I said it. I've said it for years now. If you have never gotten that reaction from the female, she ain't really fooled with you like, Jason, that's not right. That is dysfunctional. Females are emotional by nature. Don't try to feed me that bull crap. If you've never gotten that type of visceral, emotional, tempestuous reaction from a female, she ain't really fooled with you like that. She didn't. She did not. If you never had a female snatch a phone out your hands, she ain't never fooled with you like that. If you never had a female run up on you and ball up a fist, she didn't really fool with you like that. Don't tell me nothing about her attitude or whatever. I don't give a damn from the church girls to the worst girls. If she got a set of ovaries, if she has never responded to you like that, she ain't really fooled with you, my dude. I just gotta tell you right now, she ain't really fooled with you. She really didn't. She could take you or leave you. She could take you or leave you. If you want to know the reason why so many of you have subscribed to quote unquote red pill philosophy, here's the bottom line right here. Let me go ahead and explain this to you very, very simply about why so many of you, especially as young men, have glummed onto this so-called red pill philosophy, and them guys are over there screwing every damn thing up is because they don't want to tell you the damn truth. The truth of the matter is that you want to matter to a female more than she matters to you. And you're trying to figure out how it is that you can matter to her more than she matters to you. Because the reason that you subscribe to the quote red pill and all these phonies out there and whatnot is because those guys are trying to tell you how to matter to her more than she matters to you. For most of you guys, the most important thing you have in your life is a female and nothing else actually of any value. So that's why breakups destroy you. That is, breakups are supposed to bother you, don't get me wrong, but that is why they destroy so many of you, because the pinnacle of your life is having a female, and that is all. Somebody in the chat room said that's toxic. That certainly is toxic if the pinnacle of your life is a female. But let's just be very, very clear. Females, by definition, have quite honestly, if we're going to just keep it all the way real, females do have an extreme emotional state. Females are emotional extremists. And what I'm telling you is that and that is a default. That's not an opinion. So by definition, if she's never tapped into her extremities emotionally with you, I mean, whether we talking about sex, yes, I said it. If she doesn't have, that's why fellas, don't let nobody sit up here and lie to you. We need to have an honest conversation about what the situation is. The reason why you want to know about sex with her exes is because you want to know whether or not you tapped into that extremity, or did somebody else do it and you've been unable to do that, because you know that a woman is most going to bond to the person that she opens up her extremities to. You know that. When you have the person who is able to get her to open up to her extremes, that's the one she's going to bond to the most. So if she's opened up her extremes to another man and not you, then ladies, y'all ain't going to sit here and get us. You're not going to sit here and gaslight us and get us to sit up here and lie to ourselves. So you can just stop all that garbage. If a woman hasn't gone to toxic extremes for a man, but if she hasn't gone to toxic extremes for you, but she has for somebody else, what she's letting you know is, yeah, I don't really fool with you like that. I don't really fool with you like that. If a woman hasn't gone back crap crazy for you, she don't really fool with you like that. She's like, yeah, I mean, you kind of light me up, but you don't really get me going like that. So fellas, don't let females shame you into ignoring what you know to be the truth of female nature. I'm not characterizing anything. This is female nature. And I'm saying, don't argue with it. Let's understand it. But take a look at how quickly you'll have some females jump up and try to get you to ignore that. Some of them try to get you to ignore that. In the chat room there, LaShawn, when I open up the phone lines, you're going to be required to call in. Since you have so much to say in the chat room, you'll be required to call in. You'll be required to call in since you have so much to teach. In any case here, it is about that. That is what it is. Whether it is sexually, physically, financially. Yeah, there's a reason. We talk about females with their crap test, but a man, fellas, if a woman doesn't do that, that's going to be an issue. That is going to be an issue for you. You're not going to be able to get around that. As a man, you understand that intrinsically. LaShawn, that wasn't a request. So if you're not going to call in, you got to bounce. So there's the bottom line. That wasn't a request, babe. No, we don't play that around here. Yeah, you've made the mistake. You're under the mistaken impression that was a request. Oh, no, that was a command. You can call out or you can get out, but that's what it's going to be. In any case here, fellas, there are lessons for you to learn. These are the things you need to know. And by the way, she'll be the first chick sitting up here trying to flatten some dude's tires and then talking about that's toxic. Your name is LaShawn. I'll be damned. This will be the first heifer out here send a guy 150 texts in an hour and then talking about somebody's toxic. If you don't sit your ham bone ass down somewhere. In any case here.
It's fucking embarrassing me like that.
Shawty is a certified side
Shut
bitch.
up.
Just trying to act like she ain't. No, let's take it there. Her parents know she's my side bitch. Everybody knows she's a side bitch.
Okay, now he's just twisting the knife. But by the way, yes, I did notice that. You see, she swipes at him. No, she's not no wilting violet. We know what the hell we got right here. Yeah, this is a broad he'll swing on you.
Shawty is a certified side
Shut
bitch.
up.
Just trying to act like she ain't. No, let's take it there. Her parents know she's my side.
Yeah, dudes say they like them feisty Latina chicks. Okay, well, feisty is at least 1/3 of fight, 2/5 of fight.
Bitch, everybody knows she's a side bitch. She don't want y'all to know she's a side bitch. She got to save her face. She got to crash all the way out. Call them folks.
So, in any case here, like I say, and let me be clear, this is not a good look. This is not really a great look in that regard. I gotta call it for what it is. That's not really a great look for the baby, but you know, I mean, his name is DaBaby, so But in any case here, like I say, he keeps twisting the knife about this is the side chick, this is the side chick, this is the side chick. Fellas, there are lessons to learn about this. There are lessons to learn. There are lessons to learn about power dynamics. There are also lessons to learn about when you can't handle your business, because it's still not clear, at least to me. I haven't been able to figure out or find out exactly what it was that set this particular incident off. Not really sure exactly what occurred there. But what I will say is that this is not good. This is messy. He's already got enough stuff going on right now. And this is an example of how not to handle your business. It really isn't. I can understand why he was recording it. So that's a bit of a different matter. But opening this up in the first place, this is, you're not handling your business. This is not the way you handle the business. It isn't. It isn't. But there are some lessons that can be learned here. So I want to go ahead and review that tonight. So first and foremost, ladies, gentlemen, let's go ahead and review the facts here. And by the way, you can see the picture on your screen. Quite the difference between what you see when we talk about, I don't know, Russell Wilson and Ciara. Have you ever seen a picture like this of Russell Wilson and Ciara? Take a look at the sincerity, the genuineness. Take a look at how she looks. She looks like she is safe and secure, just hanging on this dude's back, hanging on his back like a backpack. Take a look at that. Take a look at that look of genuine contentment and sincerity that she has right there. Doesn't she? She looks so soft and feminine, and he looks like he could be concerned less. So there are lessons to be learned. Russell, if you want to know why it is the whole damn world is calling this and you can't see it, it's because, well, take a look. This is what it looks like, my dude. If you had it, this is what it would look like. It would look like this. It would look like this. So there it is. So the first lesson I want you to understand here from what you've seen from this video here so far is that a man's ability to produce is what makes him valuable. 80% of the boys today are raised by single mothers, and single mothers sit up here and lie their asses off to their sons and daughters about what they really got and about where they really are, but particularly to their sons. And females have an intrinsic value to an extent. Where it goes wrong is when they tell you that you have an intrinsic value to a fault. But fellas, for you, you don't have an intrinsic value as a man. As a man, your value is earned. Your value is built. Your value is created. That is where you get your value. That's where your value comes from. Your value is generated by your ability to produce. That's it. And everything else is going to be a byproduct of that. Everything else you see, everything else you experience, all of that is going to be a byproduct of that. You can't bypass that essential step. You wouldn't need red pill coaching if females, if people, if society, if your job, if the bank were validating your value. If they were going crazy over you, if they were openly competing for you, if they were willing to risk life and limb, which is what she's literally doing, she's risking life, limb, an arrest record. Yeah, that's how valuable he is. Okay, you don't feel deficient. You're not feeling like you've lost anything. You're not sitting up here ready to jump out of a damn window when someone is confirming for you in your face how valuable you are. Well, guess what? That works both ways. As a man, when you're going crazy over a female, what are you illustrating and communicating to her? You're communicating to her how valuable she is. Why on earth would she sit up here and panic about quote unquote losing you when you're sitting up here willing to run over telephone poles to keep her, especially if she's got multiple people willing to do that? You got no leverage. So your ability to produce is what makes you valuable. A lot of you fellas out here are trying to respond like hoes and talking about your personality. I'm seeing grown ass men trying to convince me that their personality makes them valuable. That a woman should value him for his personality, some amorphous, intangible, indescribable, undefinable characteristic. What you're really trying to say is, I ain't got nothing with which to show anybody that I've earned manhood. Manhood is earned through what you do, through what you build, through what you create. And as a man, just understand, yeah, you've lost at the game of manhood when you start demanding that people need to measure your value by something other than what you can produce. If you want this type of reaction out of females, people, men, banks, if you want people to compete for you, then you have to demonstrate that you are competitive. Oh, I'm hurting feelings tonight. Fellas, most of you are chasing red pill philosophy because the females are letting you know, there's nothing about you to compete for. There's nothing about you that I wish to compete over. And by the way, if you take a look at the picture on your screen here, take a look over here on the right-hand side. Take a look right there below baby's chin. You can see she's taking a selfie of herself. You can even see the shadow there. She's holding the phone and taking a selfie of herself. She wanted documentation that after the Grammys or music awards or whatever, that she's with this dude. But why? Because there's Grammys and music awards. There's money coming in. There's assets. He's got major corporations trying to talk to him. He's doing something with his life. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. He's doing something with his life. And women, females, other men, banking institutions, communities, politicians, people are going to be attracted to the man who is most productive. And fellas, if you want to know why it is, stop looking at the red pill and pick up the black book. I'm spitting to you tonight straight from the black book. Damn a red pill. Time to detox. It's time to detox. You've been chasing the red pill for years and ain't nothing changed. You listen to fakers, frauds, and posers, and none of them can help mentor you in how to fix this issue. Because the genesis of the problem begins with you if you're not getting those kind of results. But first and foremost, they're going to respond to you. Well, what position have you put yourself in? They're going to respond to you. They're going to respond to you. And you want to be a man they respond to. In the chat room, Dottie, no, you talking stupid, but then again, you're well versed at that. A woman sacrifices dignity and self-esteem. We gonna get to that. So just sit back, be quiet, sip on your high C, and just pay attention to soak up the game I'm laying down. But first and foremost, a man's ability to produce is what makes him valuable. He didn't focus on chasing them. He chased productivity. He chased excellence. He chased accomplishments. And then everything else is a side effect. I know my posers are using that vernacular too now. All right. Your ability to produce is what makes you valuable, fellas. If you want these type of results, you need to increase your value. How do I increase my value, Jason? Produce. The more you produce, the more valuable as a man you will be. You're valuable to women, children, other men, institutions, communities. You are valuable based on your ability to produce. That is an immutable law. Now, I know that a lot of you fellas today, 80% of you have been raised by single mothers. That woman didn't teach you a damn thing except how to sit up here and be a female in male clothing. So here you are walking around as a male eunuch. You are quiet. You are recessive. You're not assertive. You don't have any direction. You don't have any purpose. You're not driven. You don't know how to persevere through anything. And you're losing to individuals that you see or tell yourself are your intellectual inferiors. Yeah, you're losing to them. Yeah, because this isn't a game of intellect. This is a game of drive and determination. And if you lack that, guess what? All those other things aren't going to help for you. Like it or not, DaBaby has a lot of alpha male cues. It is what it is, but like it or not, he's got a certain number of alpha male cues. I mean, he literally shot somebody dead. Literally. He got him on video beating this dude down at the mall for talking crap. Got him on video doing it, so his credentials are documented. He's got documented credentials. Females are going to respond to that. Then you add the money, the success, that he said what he was going to do and then pulled it off. That is what you do. That is what you do. So what I'm saying is he didn't talk through his words. He talked through his actions, and that's what she's going crazy and responding over. She talks to somebody else and she has to wonder or suppose or guess if they got it. With this dude, that's already confirmed, so she has to choose whether or not she accepts his offer or not. Or better yet, is she going to put one in? Like it or not, those are the undeniable realities. It is what it is. Accept it or don't, but your acceptance or denial will not change it. It is what it is. Next up, let's be very, very clear. A 10 will go crazy for a producer. Now, I'm not here to argue with you over whether or not you think she's a 10 or not. Just bottom line is, I'm pretty sure she looks a lot better than most of the chicks y'all take home. But the bottom line is a 10 goes crazy over a producer. And most females think they are a 10 in their own heads. So regardless of what you might think of her, the objective reality is most females in their heads tell themselves that they are a 10, or at least that they have the influence of a 10. Well, to the genuine 10s out there and whatnot, they go crazy for a producer. They go crazy for a producer. If you want to see her lose her self-esteem, if you want to see her lose her dignity, if you want to see her lose her composure, if you want to see that happen, then give her a producer. Put her in the presence and the company of a producer. Not a fella talking about it, but a fella who can be about it. Put her in the company of a fella who took her from window shopping at 5-star places to walking out with bags from 5-star places. You're going to see her go nuts. All of a sudden, the most quiet, reserved chick that I never imagined she was like that. She was always like that, but she was waiting for the dude who was worth going ham over. She was waiting for the dude who was worth going ham over. That's it. She's waiting for that fellow who is worth that. So there's the bottom line. In the chat room, I can't take seriously a bunch of folks here who in your daily life, you walk around with 5s and you done sat down and broke down on the phone crying to other people over a 5. So you can register whatever opinion you think you want to, but the bottom line is let's just keep it a stack and a half. You know what the reality is. So that's just all. Not going to argue with you over it. But the bottom line is that fellas, how crazy she's willing to go. It's one thing if Lizzo goes crazy. It's one thing if Tarana Burke goes crazy. It's another thing if a female that fellas would actually compete for goes crazy. You got females in the chat room trying to weigh in on what she looks like. Ladies, you're trying too hard. Some of you chicks are just trying too damn hard. You need to quit worrying about whether or not she's a 6 or a 5. And you need to start worrying about the fact that you ain't a 6 or a 5. So let's get your priorities together, because the way females do is they kind of hate on other females, and then it's like, oh, okay. They hate on other females doing that. She ain't that fly. Okay. Meanwhile, you looking like a wore out trash bag. So I'm just saying, you got to have standing to register an opinion. I'm just saying. Before you chicks stick to me, the lane is open to go ahead and hate and criticize. Okay, but you got to have standing, because let's just be very, very clear. Most of y'all are a 6 after you've had a whole Jenny Jones makeover. So, all right. Say whatever you will. I'm not here defending one way or the other. I'm just here to say that, by the way, you got to have standing to talk like that. You're trying a little too hard to pull somebody else down. You're trying a bit too hard. You might want to ease back on that gas pedal. You might want to ease back on it. You might want to ease back. You a strong 3 trying to tell people what's a 6. I'm just saying, you a strong 3 trying to tell people what's a 6. Come on now. But in any case, a 10 will go crazy for a producer. Fellas, we just need to be honest about what it is. You want chicks going crazy over you. You lament your last relationship because you're like, okay, damn, things ended, but she didn't go nuts. Let's be very, very clear. A man has no problem whatsoever ending a relationship, or with a relationship ending where he knows the chick went crazy over him. It's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter who initiated, quote unquote, the breakup. If he knows she's over there crazy and bad and suffering and this, that, and the other, he doesn't have a problem with it. It's like, okay, my value has been validated. That's how a man has closure. A man has closure with the validation of his value. When a man knows that his value has been validated, he can move on. That's biology. But if a female has told you that I'm moving on because you are deficient, oh, wait a minute, don't know if I can do that or not. Might not be able to do that because my value has been questioned. Might have to question that. Might have to wonder about that. Yeah, it's real hard to get closure when your value has come into question. Next up here, fellas. Your ability to produce is so important because your ability to produce is what gives you a life. Women don't have a life. They don't. Females don't have a life. Fellas, I mean, whether they're stay-at-home moms or whatever, have you ever took a look at your damn Ring camera at home to see what your woman is doing when she's there? She is sitting there looking at the damn couch. She's flipping through Instagram and TikTok. She ain't doing a damn thing. She's at her job on the phone. Women don't have a life. On the weekends, what do? For the few who still get their hair done, the ones who actually got hair to get done. And that's it. Women don't have a life, man. You ask a female what she does, shopping. What the hell? That's not a life. Women don't have a life. Women have makeup tips. Women don't have a life. Women have a TikTok account. Women don't have a life. They've got the address to the mall. They don't have a life. Men have a life, or at least a producer has a life. A producer has a life. A producer is sitting on the 30th or 40th floor or something with high-ass architecture ceilings surrounded by glass. A producer has got that. A producer is sitting there with designer light fixtures and gourmet appliances and ain't looking at the bill for nothing. A producer has got that. A producer got a life. A producer has a phone ringing and there's money on the other end. A producer has a phone ringing and there's assets on the other end. A producer got the phone ringing and there's people saying, hey, bro, we trying to make moves on the other end. A female got her phone ringing and it ain't nothing but a big ass, fat ass size 16 friend from her job calling. Or her mama calling. Have you, fellas, when's the last time you took a look at your girlfriend's phone, your wife's phone, and took a look at how many calls she didn't answer? A woman will sit in the damn phone with you. If you ever took a road trip with a female, she'll be sitting there on the damn phone with you for 9 damn hours and the phone will ring 40 times and she'll never answer it once. There isn't a single pertinent, important, crucial, urgent thing happening. The phone will ring 40 times. It'll be her mother, her father, her siblings. If she got kids, if she got coworkers, and not a damn thing. There's nothing happening on that phone that has to be responded to. No. Are y'all sharing this program tonight? Okay, why y'all hating on my likes and my subscribes? And my shares here. Why y'all hating? If I'm preaching from the black book, testify. Hit my likes now. Come on now, don't shadow hate. I know with some of the females hating. Fellas, do you got me? I'm just saying, come on now, give it up. If you know I'm telling the truth about this, give it up now. Don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. You know I'm telling the damn truth. Testify. Somebody who's actually not faking his way through life and telling the truth about this, go ahead and testify. Go ahead and let the females see with that like button. Ladies, you see how the likes are going up on that. They letting you know. The fellas are letting you know. Oh, it's all real. It's all real. Women don't have a life. Being in the presence and the proximity of a producer gives her a life. Having proximity to a producer is what gives her a life. Because a woman is looking for a man that's got something going on. Fellas, if you want to know what the real issue is, a woman is looking for a man that has something going on. Okay, it's real nice that you got your anime collection and your Xbox. That ain't having a life. Your ability to finance things is not about the money. It's the fact, oh, you got something going on. Remember, your ability to finance things is a side effect of being a producer. Your ability to take care of things is a side effect. That's all. It's a side effect. So when she sees that you got all the raw pieces in place and all the raw materials are in place, well, that's something she can bank on now. So that's what they're looking for. Do you actually have that? Do you actually have a life? And fellas, this picture you see on your screen here right now with his back turned to her, you know what that is? That is a man gazing towards his purpose in the world. That is a man who is looking at his purpose. His gaze, his focus is in the direction of his purpose. And she's hanging on for dear life because she knows he is 100% dedicated to his purpose, whether she is there or not. So that gives her guaranteed assurance. Oh, he's going whether I'm here or not. So there's nothing I can do to screw the situation up. And that's where she wants to be. And that's where you want to be. But fellas, take a look at his face right there. Take a look at his body posture, his positioning here. He's focused on his purpose. She ain't validating him. He's not sitting there like Russell Wilson looking at the camera all doe-eyed. Steph Curry, Will Smith looking there all doe-eyed. He's like, man, look here, you want a minute. I'm trying to do something. And she's like, okay, well, let me get documentation that I was blessed to be in his proximity while he was doing things. This man's got a life. This man is making things happen. He got a life. He's got a life. Understand that. This is the benefits and the perks of having a life. The benefits and perks of having an existence. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Fellas, a lot of you thought I was going to talk about DaBaby, but when you can't handle your business, your woman sees you don't have a life. Your woman sees you don't have a life. That's what I'm telling you. Your woman sees you don't have a life. And when you don't have a life, you're giving her certainty. As I taught you all, hypergamy is activated by certainty, not uncertainty. You see, she is uncertain that she is going to be able to remain in his presence. So all the chicks talking about toxic. No, it's not toxic. It's something y'all aren't used to. A man who can exercise power. Y'all are so used to being able to shut men down and take men's masculinity from them that you're so used to men being desperate for you that you're not used to having a man who ain't desperate. So that's why so many of you are saying the man who's not desperate, you're trying to redefine that as toxic. Well, he's not desperate to keep me around. That must be toxic. Fellas, hypergamy is activated by certainty. And attraction is activated by uncertainty. She is uncertain that she can remain in his presence. She is uncertain that she can stay with him. She is uncertain that she can qualify to be there. Therefore, hypergamy in the presence of a producer who does not make you comfortable being where you are is deactivated. Right then, right there. Hypergamy has been turned off because it's been deactivated. He flipped the switch and it's not on anymore. Now she's like, damn, I got to hang in there. So fellas, if you wonder why it is, this fella, they treat her like trash. No, he's deactivating hypergamy. You just don't understand that. He's letting her know that you're not essential. You're not essential. And that'll bother you. Yeah, if you're a female who's used to men being clingy and dependent, that will bother you. Want to send a shout out here to everyone who has contributed to tonight's program here, by the way, on PayPal or Cash App. Thank you very much for that there, my man Sean. I see you out there. Andre Hatchett, as always. I see y'all here. So thanks to all of y'all. You know, I'm preaching from the black book tonight because everybody else got screwed up for you because they won't level with you and tell you the brutal truth that you already know. Fellas, y'all already know this right here. Y'all already know that chicks the reason that you're unsatisfied is because they go crazy. You're like, okay, she ain't never went crazy for me because you know she been crazy for somebody else. You know that. So what I'm saying is we don't have to pretend about it. Let it be what it's going to be. But if nobody ever told you here, including your mama, women don't have a life. You as a man are the person who creates the situation that she has a life. A woman will tell you going to a damn amusement park is having a life. Man. Okay. She's going to tell you going to an amusement park. Like a bunch of big ass children. A man has a life. A man is doing things. A man is supposed to be making moves. A producer makes moves and got things going on. She's supposed to be sitting there like, damn, how's he got so much happening? And you can see here in this picture, even from his body language, that is supremely stating, not with his words, but with his actions. Fellas, pay attention. Whether you like it or not, you have to accept the brutal reality here. Through his actions, not his words, he is stating what his purpose is. And that she's not dependent or a requisite for him accomplishing that. That's game for you to pick up. Next, females eventually realize that being cute has no value. The biggest con job that females pull off where guys are concerned is they convince guys that, oh hell, wrong picture there. They convince guys that being cute has a value is what they do. They convince guys that being pretty has a value in and of itself. No, being pretty is useless. Understand something. Being pretty doesn't have a function. Let's be very, very clear. Being pretty, being cute does not have a function. Truthfully speaking, I mean, would a quote unquote ugly hamburger be any less delicious? The aesthetics of something don't necessarily make it better. And remember, beauty is subjective, not necessarily objective. There is objectively attractive and objectively ugly. There is. But just understand, being pretty doesn't have an intrinsic outside of a man. If men do not value your looks, if men do not value your quote unquote beauty, if men don't value that, then guess what? It's useless. And females pick up on this very quickly when they attempt to convert attention into resources. Now, eventually what happens, and here's where fellas really get mad, is when a female decides that she is going to attempt to convert your attention that you've been giving into tangible resources. Let me see what else I can get with this attention. Other than you sitting here telling me how nice I am, or, okay, I got plenty of people telling me I'm cute. What else are you offering? What else can this cuteness get me? That's what she's trying to figure out. What else can it get? And when a female has begun to fully mature, that's when she realizes cuteness is worthless if it cannot be converted into tangible resources. My cuteness is of no value because all I can get with my cuteness is a bunch of bum niggas that cannot or will not do anything for me. So therefore, it's worthless. Eventually, she gets tired of having, feckless pawns sitting and ogling her all day. She gets tired of that. Eventually, she's going to realize there is no value in having a bunch of beta orbiters sitting and fawning over her all day. It's like, okay, nigga, when you stop staring at me, what else do you have? What else you got? If you're going to stop staring at me. So you all need to understand where your real leverage lies. Women understand. Eventually they do wake up and realize that being cute doesn't have a value. And that goes both ways. A lot of you fellas out here, you get mad about a dude talking about he cute and this, that, and the other. He cute. The chicks respond to him as cute. That's your childhood trauma talking. You didn't have dudes who were in your elementary school and the girls responded to, okay, in grade school, the rules are different. Out here in the real world, we got a different set of rules. So what flew in grade school, he could be cute and that's all he had to do. Out here in the real world, you got to produce. Do you know how many cute niggas there are in child support court? Do you know how many cute dudes there are on Skid Row? Do you know how many cute dudes there are begging the red pill winosphere, used to be the manosphere, now it's the winosphere over there, for help? You realize how many cute dudes are begging for help? Yeah, because eventually the spigot turns off and all of a sudden you get trick bagged. It's like, okay, yeah, dude, you're cute, but you ain't got nothing. You're just a cute lame. So those guys end up dredging the bottom of the barrel trying to find some young dumb chick who hasn't figured it out yet. Okay, but even then, that chick is going to be like, okay, well, you're cute. Let's have a baby. And then he's like, okay, I can't hold on to her unless we have a baby because she doesn't really have any other attraction to me except, well, genetically, you look like a valid option. So let me go ahead and have a baby with you. All right. And then at that point, it's game over for you. It's game over for you. DaBaby can have 7 or 8 chicks like that. Well, yeah. I didn't say it's smart. Stupid as hell. It really is. But then again, I'm giving the cold analysis. Next up here, a woman values a producer who does not need her. Nothing says that you are secure in your manhood and your purpose like not being dependent on her. Nothing says that. If things go wrong, you show her you can get up and bounce at a moment's notice. It's not going to be a bunch of drama. It's not going to be no hanging on. It's just like, hey, I'm here. You here. That could change at any moment. The train going to keep rolling. And it's going to be going to bigger and better stops. See, that's your job. Your job is to demonstrate, not through your words, but through your actions, that there's always going to be a better day. That's what you're supposed to be doing. As a man, the reason you're supposed to become a producer is because what that does is that demonstrates through your actions, not your words, that there's always going to be a better day. It's always going to be a better day. That you are heading towards bigger and better things. Constantly, consistently. You are consistently heading to a bigger and better place. You see, that is what disarms hypergamy. When a female feels like you've topped out, then she's going to start talking stupid and doing crazy stuff. When she realizes, oh, wait a minute, there's going to be more. And if I'm not here for it, he's going to deposit that with another female. I better stay on my P's and Q's and mind my manners. I better stay on my P's and Q's and mind my manners. Because he's not done yet. He's not done. He hasn't maxed out yet. He hasn't peaked. Which is why I tell you as men, it's not just about having, quote, high value. It's about having peak value. That's what it's really about. It's about whether or not you've established your peak value as a man. That's important. Because the cues that disarm hypergamy, a woman is eventually going to start looking for peak value, and she's looking to see if you've peaked out. Nature and biology demand that the organism continue to get stronger and continue to get better. She's going to be looking for you to peak out. She's going to be looking for you to continue to get better. And if she feels like you have reached your limit, just understand something. A woman is always saying to herself, in the back of her mind, there's a program always running in the back of her mind. If the fella I'm with now can afford a Maybach and a penthouse, then I might be eligible for somebody who can do a little bit better. So she's always wondering if she's hit her peak. So when she's like, okay, you've peaked out. Well, I wonder if there's another train coming. I wonder if there's another one. I wonder if there's another one I can hop to. That is why it's important to always stay on that. And the moment that she feels like you need her, she's going to be like, okay, I've conquered him. And let's be very, very clear. Fellas, there is nothing attractive to a female about a male that she feels she has conquered. What she wants, I've told y'all this here for years. I was the guy who sat up here and told you, it's like, fellas, 75% of your luxury cars are leased, not owned. A bunch of fellas out here talking about, I gotta go buy her a luxury car. No, you don't. She just needs access to it. And truth be told, that's all she wants. She doesn't want ownership. She wants access. That's all. She just wants access. She wants proximity to you and access to your assets. That's it. She wants proximity to you and access to your resources. And as a man, you're supposed to have a structure in place that facilitates that. So that you can call hands, so that you can pick and choose, so that you've got the upper hand, so that you've got the leverage. You don't walk in the room, give up all your damn leverage, and then get surprised and complain when the females treat you like you gave up your leverage. Fellas, there's nothing attractive to a woman about conquering you. What is attractive to her is that you are that which cannot be conquered. If she tries really damn hard, if she really goes out of her damn way and really stresses herself, then she can get proximity to you. You see, there's a bunch of you guys out here, you're suffering from that white knight syndrome that you created in your mind. You want a female who will sit up here and acquiesce to you. You're not dealing with women the way that they really, really are. When you're dealing with them the way that they really are, and this is power dynamics. I don't give a damn about dating. I don't care if none of you ever have another date in your lives. I really, really don't. But I am explaining to you about power dynamics. The most important decision a female will ever make in her life is the quality of the man that she is with. But fellas, equally important, the most important decision you're going to make in your life is your purpose and direction. And females are a very good barometer of whether or not you're on that purpose. So when a female realizes that she can conquer you, then at that point, she's no longer interested. So what you want to do is sit up here and say, I don't like that right there. They be going for these dudes who ain't gonna commit. Okay, take a damn clue. See, you want to demonize fellas who have success because you're not understanding how the language works. You're not understanding that. So they demonize a man that don't want a commitment. Well, he must be doing something right. You need to see what that is. That doesn't mean you need to emulate him. I'm not saying anyone should emulate the baby, by all means. But what I am saying is there are lessons to be learned here. There are lessons to be learned here. And the lesson I want you to understand is that if a female feels there is no longer any competition for you, then why should she continue competing? Too many of you fellas are trying to figure out how to sit down on your laurels and kick up your heels, and you can't do that. Being a producer never ends. It never ends. Let me be very, very clear. Being a producer, that is going to be a task that's going to follow you from the cradle to the grave. Let's be very, very clear. Being a producer is a burden that is going to follow you from the cradle to the grave. They gonna bury you. If you doing what you're supposed to be doing, they gonna bury you while you making moves. They gonna bury you producing. You gonna die on your way to doing something if you're a producer. If you're sitting on some beach somewhere vegetating and the game was already over, that's why she's sleeping with the damn pool boy, because at least the pool boy got some damn ambition. If you're a producer, that's going to follow you from the cradle to the grave. So you're going to leave this world on your way to getting some business done. You're going to leave this world on your way to getting something else kicked off. If you're a man who's producing. So get it out of your head that, well, if I make me $100,000 a year, I'm doing good right there. You should be happy. All right. She's supposed to always be thinking that there's something else coming. She's supposed to always be suspecting you got something else going on. Don't ever let a woman know what's in your bank account, fellas. She don't need to know all that. All she needs to know is that the bills are paid. I've been telling you for years. She just needs to know the bills are paid and that you aren't relying on her. Now, you can give dictates to her and say, okay, you got to do this, this, and that. Because a woman left alone with her own money is going to squander it. So as a man, you got to let her know, okay, to be on my team, I don't have people out here wasting money. So we got to make sure you're spending your money the right way, because a man who is financially stable cannot have a female who's a financial burden. Ladies, the only reason for you having, any type of financial significance of your own is so that you're not a burden. But there's no reason for a man who is financially stable to have a financial burden weighing on him. So that's the only reason we need to know about your money, is to make sure you still qualify to be here. Because there's too many of y'all out here who are running your lives and your finances into the damn ditch, and we can't have that. We can't have it. We can't have it. So his job is to make sure that he's not inviting a burden into his bed, that he's not inviting a burden into his car, that he's not inviting a burden under his umbrella. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. A female is attracted to a man who doesn't need her. She's attracted to a fellow who's making moves. A producer. If you want to know the reason why most of you are going to listen to these folks and you're talking about they're entertaining, but they're failing and nothing's ever going to change for you while you're being entertained, it's because they are not demanding that you take on the burden of performance. As a man, you need to become a producer because that's the only thing that solves all these other issues. The reason that you have a red pill community today is it's really a failure community. Males who have failed to establish themselves as producers. That's where it comes from. And a producer isn't simply financially. It is, remember what I told you, it's financial, intellectual, emotional, and physical. Those things need to be in balance. And the fellow who thinks, well, I'll just get money and be a feckless simp begging. No, that's where the power part comes in. You see, if your money is simply something you worked for, you're already a failure. Your money is supposed to be a side effect of you taking control of the world around you. And when you approach the world from that standpoint, that I'm here to conquer, I'm here to take control of it. Understand something, a woman is looking for a conqueror. That's why this chick is sitting up here hanging on to a dude who's killed one, tried to kill a couple others. She's like, I'm with the alpha. I'm with the guy who's going to dictate and decide the fate for the rest of you. And that says something to her about herself. If I qualified to be in his presence, well, what does that say about me by extension? And then for him to jump up and say, man, you was just the side chick. I ain't never been cool with you like that. That's it. Her whole damn worldview came crashing down because in her mind, she had accepted the reality that everybody else wants him. I'm the one who's got him. Everybody else wants him. I'm the one who's got him. That's the reality of it. If nobody else wants to sit up here and level with you with the brutal truths about these things, they're still sitting up here selling you fairy tales and lies and propaganda. Fellas, this is female nature. And I'm telling you, I'm not here to fight with it. I'm here to tell you how to understand it and put yourself in the advantageous position within it. Because it's not going to change. Why? Because these are habits and things that females have developed for survival. Now, have they gone to some extremes? Sure. Have they gone to some unhealthy extents? Probably. But I need you to understand what the firmware is that they're operating under so that you can position yourself. Please remember, Rollo Tomasi told you he didn't know what to do. All the books you could read from him, and he literally sat up here and admitted and confessed this year. After all these years, he finally confessed. You can read his books forever. He literally keeps saying the words, I'm not here to tell you what to do because I don't know. I can tell you this is female nature, but I don't know what to do with it. Well, guess what? I damn well know what to do with it. I sure do. You guys feel hurt. You feel deficient. You feel insecure. Why? Because you don't feel respected. And respect has an element of fear. Respect comes with submission. Respect comes with accolades. Respect comes with deference. And you're not getting any of those things. And because you're not getting that, you cannot feel like a man when those things are lacking. You can't. You can't. I'm just here to explain it to you. This is why it doesn't work for you. It could never work for you. Not now, not ever. It could never work. A bunch of people sitting up here running down a bunch of lists of female traits and then not telling you, okay, we see the damn female traits. What do I do with this? And they won't even tell you that it is your place to be in command. They won't even say those words to you, that it is your place to be in command. They won't even say that. They won't even say that it is your place to be in command of it. They won't even do that. Why? Because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Maybe you should start listening to some people who are less interested in entertaining you because they're finally trying to get some money together in their lives. Maybe listen to somebody who actually knows what the hell they're talking about. I don't know. Let's try competence for a change. Next up, ladies, I got to read your mail real quick. Ladies, I've got to read your mail. Gotta read your mail. Ladies, threatening other women, giving up your job, giving up endorsements, that is the highest form of validation. That's the highest form of validation. Let's be very, very clear. Because here's the thing. Y'all aren't going to sit up here and fool men into this. See, what it is that when you are really enthusiastic about a dude, I mean, you're not sitting up here. You don't need to be wined and dined or anything. You are just demanding to be in his presence because that's what the reality is. And then what y'all do is you turn around and tell the fellas, oh, that doesn't count. No, we already seen you do it. You've been out there fist fighting people. You've been out there, if a woman has a choice between a producer and her job, we see what the hell y'all do. Show me which one is more valuable. Show me which one is more valuable. That's what I'm saying. Show me which one is more valuable. And there is a hierarchy. Let's be very, very clear. Don't let any female sit up here and deceive you into thinking there isn't a hierarchy. Oh, we don't do that. Sit your ass the hell down. World Star Hip Hop has built a whole damn website on it. Every female in this chat room right now is going to try to convince us all of the same damn lie. Now, I'm talking to the fellas out here today, to the ones who know, but especially to the young ones who don't know. Don't let these females sit up here and fool you. They're all going to sit up here and tell you everybody else had a hoe phase, not me. Everybody else would fist fight another chick over a dude, not me. Everybody else would sit up here and have a choice between going to see their dude and going to their job, and they would choose the dude, not me. That's what these chicks do. The females today will sit up here in chat rooms and lie, and then you guys go to your job, you go to the school, you go to the gas station, and you see them proving that's a damn lie every day. But they always sit up here and do that. So don't listen to the bull crap. That's what I was saying. Tell them sit the hell down talking about she's a 6 or this, that, and the other. That's for your consumption. That isn't reality. The reality is they're saying those things for your consumption in the chat room, on Instagram. Take a look at how they're living their lives. Are they living their lives like that? You got females in this chat room right now been stretched out by dudes all through college. You had dudes stretching you out all through college and then coming back now talking about what you don't do. You were in college sitting up here getting up in other females' faces and all kinds of mess. Go talk to their damn brothers and sisters. You were sitting up here going off on people all in high school and every damn thing else. Now you're going to sit in my chat room talking about what you don't do. Now you're going to sit here in my chat room trying to tell us what you don't do. Meanwhile, there's not a single man here who can tell you a story about a chick who don't do it. But you're sitting here trying to tell us what you don't do. All these damn tatted up nerds with tattoos and stuff. Let me tell y'all something. If she a baby mama, she been fighting somebody. You know damn well there's no such thing as a baby mama who ain't had to sit up here and throw them dukes with somebody, because that's what the hell you do. The fellas who get y'all pregnant are always sitting up here in the middle of drama, which is why you like that. You like indulging in it because you like the emotional high, because he puts you in a situation that takes you to your emotional extremes, and females become addicted to it. Females have a dopamine hit from drama. And that's not me talking. That's science. Females get a dopamine hit from it. Females get intellectual stimulation, psychic stimulation from it. They get emotional pleasure from drama. It drives them. So they sit up here in the chat room and sit up here and all of a sudden they want to talk about they're reformed. They want to talk like they're reformed. Yeah, all these chicks out here doing it, but somehow I've been lucky enough to have the chat room that has all the good girls in it. All the clean virgins. I got that one. No mess, no drama. Yeah, I've been so fortunate tonight to have the only chat room on the internet where all the good, clean, decent females are over here. So glad. Boy, I'm telling you, I was so cynical about all this before now, but now that we've gone ahead and cleared that up, I'm so glad we got that cleared up here now. No, ladies, what you are willing to sacrifice. And by the way, this chick here got a whole damn career, and she was willing to go to jail and be arrested for it. Why? Because she was losing access to her producer. Losing access to her producer was worth fist fighting over. She's showing you what the value is. If I'm gonna lose him, I ain't giving him up without a fight. That's how valuable it is. That's how valuable it is. So what I'm saying is let's have an earnest discussion about what they really value. Yeah, they really value it. She was willing to give up endorsements. She's willing to give up not having a criminal record. She's willing to give it all up. Yes, females sacrifice for the man that they value. Now they want to have somebody sit up here and tell you that they don't do that. Now, all of a sudden, folks are trying to tell us females don't sacrifice for the men they value. That's what they're telling us now. No, don't sit up here. The game ain't changed, fellas. Don't listen to a bunch of gaslighting chicks in chat rooms. Females sacrifice for the man they value. That's right. That includes Pookie and Ray Ray driving your damn car. You show right. He's sitting on the couch playing Xbox 360. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, this goes for Pookie and Ray Ray. This isn't just producers, whether a female is correct or misguided. If the fella that she truly desires, she sacrifices for. The fella she truly desires, she risks things for. The fella she truly desires, she loses she loses her emotional discipline for. She loses her emotional discipline. Let's be very, very clear. She loses her emotional discipline for that. Got this dude sitting up here on your couch. You go to work. He's driving your car to Walmart or whatever, maybe another female's house. He's racked up more miles on your car than you have, and you glad to have him there. Yes, because what she's demonstrating is what the value is. That's what she's demonstrating is this is what the value is. Now, she can be misguided about it, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that she's demonstrating what the highest form of value is. The highest form of validation is what a female is willing to sacrifice. And men know this, which is why men have very little tolerance, and they in the back of a man's mind, he will never be satisfied in a relationship with a female who has not gone to extremes for him. Why? Because we know you've done it for somebody else. We know that you were so attached to somebody else that it drove you. Yeah, a man will never be satisfied. He'll never be satisfied until he's witnessed it. He'll never be satisfied until he's witnessed it because he knows that's really what's there. He knows what really drives you. He knows it. Now, I want to give you all a bonus one. Want to give you a bonus tonight. Pretty doesn't equal smart nor sensible. And this is the mistake that dudes like DaBaby and a bunch of other dudes make, is that you figure that, well, if she looks put together, that the outside is an accurate barometer of the inside. Not necessarily. Just because a chick is cute, just because she's well put together, she doesn't have to be, thought cute. She might be dressed to the nines cute, sophisticated, pretty. That doesn't mean that she's smart nor sensible. It doesn't. Her looks are no gauge of how intelligent or rational she is. Not at all. And if she's a chick who gets a lot of attention, then the more attention she gets, the more the odds are against that she is sensible. Plain and simple. Especially if she's been getting attention for a long time. If she's a person who's used to getting long-term attention, yeah, that can be problematic. That sure can. That can be problematic. Case in point, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but case in point, Some folks just don't learn. It doesn't matter how many red flags there are. It doesn't matter how many cues there are. Some folks just don't learn. And Stevie J, bruh, you got to hold this L. You got to hold this L, bruh. You got to hold this L. There's nothing I can't say nothing for you, man. For those of you who didn't know, this happened. So Stevie J been in a relationship here with Faith Evans. Are they married? Are they married? Well, anyway, he whipped out his phone, and I want to show you there was a radical difference between the way things went with DaBaby and the way things are going with Stevie J. And Stevie, bruh, you gotta hold this L. I hate to kick a man while he's down, but he's right there by my Timberlands. So I hope this is a lesson to everyone else. Listen to the difference between the way that this exchange went between Faith Evans and Stevie J and the exchange between DaBaby and Danileigh. Lessons to be learned.
I'm not letting you slide by me. Excuse me, I'm going to some of your No. Please move out the way. Hold the up. No. God damn. We live. We live. It's cool. We live. They see it. I hate you. Please leave me alone. Please, I hate you. We live. I hate you. It's cool. We live. It's cool. Shit. You too. I ain't going nowhere. You too. I hate you too. Good. But we in the business. You. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You is only in my own house, bitch. You, bitch. You, bitch. You in my house. You, bitch.
Well, that's under his roof, but all right. So she been getting stretched out by dudes under his roof here. Now, 26 years after she did this to Biggie. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Stevie J, I can't feel sorry for you, brug, in this regard here. I hate to see you go like that, but do you all understand? 26 years or so. It's been about 26, 27 years. Some of y'all wasn't even born. A bunch of you weren't even born. You do realize this is a quarter of a century after she did this to Biggie. How much evidence do you need? Tupac had a hit song telling the world, and that wasn't enough. Tupac had a hit song explaining this, and that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Really. How much do you need, man? Well, they got to come and chisel a statue? Really? What does it take for some folks to get a clue that this ain't the one? Well, I got baby mamas too. Okay, don't make the situation worse.
I ain't going. We live. I hate you. It's cool. We live. It's cool. Shit. You too. I ain't going nowhere. You too. I hate you too. Good. But we in the business. You. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You is only in my own house, bitch. You, bitch. You, bitch. You in my house. You. I heard you. So you happy about it, Mm-hmm. Huh? You are? That's what you like to do? How can you disrespect me, though? I ain't do nothing to you. All I did was love you. And you do that to me?
Stevie J he's just going all the simp way out, basically. Stevie J is just basically going all the simp way out, man. You do this to me, I just want to love you. That's all. Stevie, bro, if you gonna record it, don't do this. She is an old she's an old crackhead. I mean, seriously, everybody knows she's been arrested with drugs where she got arrested at the airport trying to move her little drugs and whatnot. She's an old drug addict. She got chest tattoos. She been a hoe since the 90s. Bruh, what you in love with? In the chat room, y'all talking about two dope heads. I'm just saying, this is a bad look. This is a bad look, man. What she got to do to make you say, this ain't worth it?
How can you do that to me?
How can you do that to me? What is up with these dudes saying that, man? What do you want from me? How can you do this to me? All right, man. All right.
All I did was love you. And you do that to me? How can you do that to me? But how can you do it to me, though? Please. But how can you do that to me? How can you somebody on me?
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Get your hand off me. Get your hands off me.
Somebody on me?
Get your hands
somebody
off
on me?
of me.
When I'm
Get
watching
your hand
you in
off
the
of
sun
me,
every
please.
day.
Get your hands off of me.
I'm asking you.
Please.
But
Stop.
how can
Just
you somebody on me?
stop.
How can you somebody on me? You can do whatever. You can scream as you want to.
Jesus, go somewhere.
Fuck. No, I ain't going
Fuck
nowhere.
out of here. Here you go with your dumb shit.
No, you
Grow the fuck up.
See?
This is what I don't want to be bothered with.
I
Get
don't
the
want
fuck out.
to too.
All right. Does anybody see what the differences are? We're talking about when you can't handle your business. Fellas, do you see what the differences are here? Now, I'm not just talking about Faith Evans as a person or, character-wise. Do you see the problems here? First of all, he's begging. That's the first thing. The power dynamic is completely throwed the hell off. Completely throwed the hell off. On the one hand, you got DaBaby, this chick, he's told her to leave, and she refuses to leave. On the other hand, you got Stevie J, and she's saying, leave me alone, and he's sitting right there. So first of all, it's very, very clear who's got the power dynamic here. It's very, very clear who values the other one more. It's very, very clear who that is. Very clear. So first and foremost, that's the first mistake. Everything else to the side. The first thing is he's giving up all power and leverage. He's begging her. He's begging her. There's the first problem. Next thing here is understand that it's never a good look when you are recording something that doesn't flatter you. It's never a good look to do that. Never a good look. So he's recording her, and next thing you know, she's sitting up here, stop and get your hands off me and all this old mess. That's not a good look either. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. Third, and this is the most important one, Stevie is talking with his words, not his actions. Let's be next. The next thing is he's talking with his words. He's talking with what he's saying. He's talking by talking. There's no action here. You're supposed to be showing that you're the boss, not telling. You're supposed to be talking through your actions. You see, she didn't just jump up one day doing stuff like this. She been like that. She been like that. She didn't just jump up one day and start acting this way. She been like that. And the real issue is, fellas, this is why you have to have a structure and agenda of your own so that in the event, when invariably this kind of thing occurs, you're prepared and you're ready for it. Okay, if that happens, now what? If that happens, now what? And the other thing is, it's not like he's even doing this for some young, hot tender broad. He's doing it for some old, beat up, bushwhack crackhead. It's like, dude, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing? It's for damn me, Faith Evans. It's not like he's got one of the baddest of the bad or the hottest of the hot, man. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? What's the point? What's the purpose? What's the basis? Why are we doing this? That's something I want you to think about here. What is it that she's offering him at this point in her life? She's 48 years old. 48. 48. She ain't been run through. She been run over. What is he expecting to get from a 48-year-old that is worth all this? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. What is he expecting to get? What is he expecting to happen? What is he expecting to get from a 48-year-old at this point? Where are we going with this? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? You see, there were all manner of mistakes made here, but I want you to understand exactly the issues and the mistakes and the self-inflicted wounds in this. When you're not handling your business. It would be one thing if he was fighting over some young 20-year-old or something. Okay, that would make sense. He's fighting over a chick who, what does she have to offer him at 48? Other than an extreme body count and multiple trips to rehab, what exactly is it that she's offering him now? Except a bunch of stories from her AA meetings back when she used to go. What is she offering him except a bunch of stretch marks from a bunch of other dudes? Bruh, you following up behind Tupac and Biggie and whoever in the hell else she was running up behind while she was on the pipe. And she literally was on the pipe. Why? 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 Being codependent is not a good look, man. It's not a good look. If you're going to go out like that, at least go out like that for somebody who's worth it, man. At least go out like that for somebody who's got something to offer to the agenda. At least go out for a bad broad, is what I'm saying. But no. First of all, you shouldn't go out bad to begin with. But the other thing here is, that's just not a good look, man. That's not a good look for you at all. I just wanted to love you. Love you for what? Who we... Why would we? Okay. All right. Like I say, they in the industry and everybody's out there doing their thing, but no, this is not a good look for you, man. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. When you're not handling your business, all manner of devilment will occur. All manner of devilment will occur when you're not handling the business properly. And handling the business starts with you. It starts with you. It doesn't start by chasing them. It starts with you. As a man, it begins with you. It begins with you. That's the thing I most want you to understand. It's going to start with you. So just recognize what you're really seeing and just recognize what it's really about.
No. Please move out the way. Hold the up. No. God damn. We live. We live. It's cool. We live. They see it. I hate you. Please leave me alone. Please, I hate you. We live. I hate you. It's cool. We live. It's cool. Shit.
You too. I ain't going nowhere. You too. I hate you too.
Good.
But we in the business. You.
Leave me alone.
Fellas, if I have any piece of advice to give you right now, don't let that be you. You are going to look back on that one day, and the cringe is going to be off the scales when you do that. You're going to look back at that one day and be like, oh, hell, that was a low watermark. That really was. That was a low watermark. That was bad. It's going to be hard to live that down. It's like, dude, you went out pining for that? Really? Is that what we're doing now? Think about all his exes. I know they all got to be looking at each other like, ooh, man, what the hell were we thinking? What in the hell were we thinking? We were sitting up here going bonkers behind him, and little did we know he really was holding out for a Faith Evans. Wow, okay. Handling your business is essential, man. Handling your business is essential. Being able to handle it is essential, and it looks a certain way. There's nothing alpha male about this. There's nothing alpha about this. They treat you and respond to you a certain way. There's nothing alpha about this, man. There's nothing about this that says to her, I'm losing anything. There's nothing about that. What also tells you is that she's like, yeah, he doesn't have any other options. He's got to sit here and tolerate my nonsense because he doesn't actually have any other options. He doesn't have any. If he did, it'd be a different matter, but he doesn't actually have any. And also to be sitting there in that situation there, think about the deleterious effect. Look it up. Take a look at the negative effect that just chips away at you after something like that. Think about how bad that is right there. That's going to wreak havoc on your manhood. That's going to wreak havoc on your manhood. How are you supposed to sit up here and be a G, and sit among the men and be validated? At least DaBaby can say, hey, look, I had to get them people on her to get her away from me. And he's, well, baby, I just tried to love you. Bro, you on video recorded saying, I tried to love Faith Evans. Because she didn't get run through enough. I was just trying to love her. It's like, no. Absolutely not. No. But then again, some folks learn things the hard way, I suppose. My job is to try to explain it to you and try to make sure you have as much information as you can get. So, hopefully that will be of help to you. In the meantime here, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the program to lay the foundation upon which all of these posers and imposters have stolen everything they've been talking about here and messing it up. This is the place that's going to be giving it to you here straight. So you can go ahead and give me a call here tonight. And I want to be honest about this. Ladies, can we be honest for a moment here? I want the ladies who try to dispute this. Can the women be honest? Ladies, can y'all tell the guys the truth tonight? Will you all be honest and straight up and tell the truth tonight? And tell the fellas the truth. Yes, we go crazy over the men that we really care about. How many women, I'm talking about young women, I ain't talking about the little old ladies and whatnot, you done aged out the game, and now he's like, okay, well now on my deathbed, let me tell the truth. No, to the young females who are still eligible out here, can you all be honest? For once, can you break the code of omerta with the sisterhood for a change? Can you just be honest and just say, look, we acting like we have a problem with the way that Danileigh was acting here, but the truth is, as women, that's reality. That's the way we respond to a producer, to a man who's operating at his peak. That's the way we respond. Can y'all be honest about it? Can we just cut past the bull jive for a bit and you all just go ahead and level and just say, hey, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. We go crazy for a fella who is on top of his game. If we're threatened with losing him, yes, we go crazy for that. We sure do. How many women got the guts to do that? I don't know. I'm opening up the phone lines for you here. The number is 646-787-1933. You can go ahead and give us a call. I want to hear about that. And for the folks who always complain about that, by the way, I'm giving out the number. They have the opportunity to call early. They'll be waiting until the last 3 minutes of the program. And then, oh, man, he didn't let us call in. Yeah, you have an opportunity to go ahead and call in early. So just be aware. But when you can't handle your business properly, when it's not being handled properly, these kinds of things will occur. That's why I'm giving the rules for it here now. Let me go ahead and get caller from area code 951. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
LaShawn, calling from Las Vegas.
Hello, LaShawn from Las Vegas. You have a lot to tell us.
How you doing, Jason?
Well,
It's actually my first time calling in, but I
I've
was in the
been
chat
waiting on
and
you.
I was told to call in.
Yes, you were told to call in by me. Yes, you were. We are here to regale your epic wisdom.
I wouldn't call it wisdom. I just commented about it being toxic situation
Okay. And
of putting your hands on anybody.
Okay, and why do you call that toxic and not just feminine?
Because you have to express yourself without using violence. You can talk about it without even attempting to put your hands on anybody because that's a turnoff. It's not good.
Okay, you know, those are the words you say. Those are the words you say. Now, you say those words, but is that the way females operate?
No, but they should.
Okay, but okay, there's a lot of things that should. What you're talking about right there is an ideal. We should be able to create energy without negative byproducts, but we can't. So what you're discussing is an ideal, which in no way prepares people, much less males, young males, to be able to operate in the world because you're telling them that this is not the way that females are, and it is. As a matter of fact,
but they have to be able to calm their emotions.
No, okay, well, yes, that would be nice. And over time, if she's in the presence of a man with emotional discipline, that will glum on to her. But that's not something she comes with standard. That is something she has to acquire.
Yeah, but he was provoking her and saying things and doing things to cause her to want to be emotional. He wasn't making the situation better.
There you go.
Yeah,
now you're being honest.
Like she should have just left.
But she can't. But she can't.
Asked her to, but
okay, but she can't.
Yeah, but even being asked to leave is not good.
What you're saying is impractical.
That's not good.
What you are saying is impractical. It's impractical. And the reason that it's impractical is you're saying she can get up and leave. How do you get up and leave the person who gave you your status? How do you get up and leave that?
She has status. He chose her too. He had her there.
All right.
And
okay.
even if being asked to leave a situation is not good, you shouldn't have to be asked to leave anybody's home. If you're being asked to leave,
okay, explain to me, what is her status?
She had a little career going and everything for herself. That's how he was able to meet her and see her, because she was obviously out, she was available.
Right. And the reason that you were told to call in is because it's this type of intellectual dishonesty where females sit up and say things simply to save face that are untrue statements. This is where the problem comes in. Because what you're saying is a statement that's not meant to be factual. It's meant to be emotionally face-saving. She's got status. Okay, is her status in any way comparable to his?
Not now, because she.
Whoa! No! Okay, you're doing it again. You say not now. When did we hear about her before this video came out? When has her status ever in any way been comparable to his?
I knew about her.
Okay, I
knew about her.
Okay,
she wasn't irrelevant to where nobody ever heard of her.
Okay, my question was, where was her status? Where was her status before this weekend relative to his?
It probably wasn't as high as his was.
Okay, just
not as high as his
understand something.
No.
The females who do the worst in life and relationships are the females who put up the most resistance to facts and numbers. And when you have a female who sits here arguing against facts and numbers, just understand that's a formula for doing bad in life in general. And you are doing a textbook example of how to do bad in life in general. Because you know what the answer is. She's got no status whatsoever that is in any way comparable to his. None. The only reason people know her is, oh, you the baby, one of the baby mamas. You're one of the baby's baby mamas. Nobody can even tell you a song she's written.
Yeah,
they can tell you the dude she slept with. They can tell you about him. They can't tell you anything she's done for herself. Well, I heard she has a singing career. Okay, her singing career is so great, you can't name anything that she has done separate and apart from him. That's just how great her singing career has been. That you can't name anything that she's done apart from him. And I'm not the one saying that that is what gives her value. She's the one. You gonna kick me and your baby out? Yeah, you just my side chick. What? She runs up on him. I'm not the one saying that that's where her value comes from. She is. You're sitting here trying to argue something that even she isn't. This is how desperate you are to prove something that you know is not true. You're arguing something that even she's not saying. She's saying the opposite. That she gets her value from him, and you're claiming that she has some exalted value of her own, when literally she is demonstrating, no, I don't. And this...
But see, it got to the point where that was too far. Before he even called her that, it was already an argument going on, right? Because he started the video by recording her while she was feeding her baby, and when he started doing that and putting her on live and disrespecting her, then she got her baby and said, I'm leaving this house,
he came
your
there,
status and everything.
He came there for the purposes of telling her to leave. Now, while it's not clear what...
And she should have left.
Okay, stop. I'm hosting my program. It is not clear what prompted him to do this. All we know is what happened after he turned the camera on. We know he came there for the purpose of saying, yeah, you got to go. Why he did it, not sure. But going from the point where he said, yeah, you got to go. Here's the issue. When a female shows up, we're expected to say, okay, it don't matter what she says. It's supposed to just always go her way. Folks are having trouble with the fact that you have a man, and for once, it went his way. And which is the way it's supposed to go, as a matter of fact. That's the way it's actually supposed to be. The world is screwed up because that's not what's happening anymore. It'll be right again when that is what's happening. But the bottom line is she went bonkers because according to you, if she's got anything of her own, then that means she also has a place to go. He didn't just come there to tell her, I want you to leave the premises. He came there to tell her, you're out. All the way out. I'm here to take your status. We ain't like that. I'm here to take your status. I'm stripping you of your name. I'm taking all of it. That's what he came there to do. That's what got her arrested. She got arrested because he took her status, and she went off the wall about that. So if what you're saying were true, that she had any of her own, then why did she get so mad and go off the rails when all he did was tell her, I'm separating you from my name?
So she was mad her status wasn't going to be the side chick no more with the baby's baby?
No, she got upset because he stated what was true. As I've always taught you all, a woman, that plausible deniability is what gives a woman status. Women don't have, what you said, just understand something, which means you better not have been listening to me very long, because if you have, this is a sad commentary on you. But a woman has no status from her own accomplishments. What you do for yourself gives you no status whatsoever. You can go buy the nicest car in the world that you want to, working 8 days a week. That doesn't give you any status among other women. What gives you status among other women is if you can get a man to do it for you. Now that's what gives you status. You buying your own shoes does nothing for you. That doesn't impress anybody else. Certainly not other females. What gives you status among other women is when you can say, hey, I'm so valuable, I got a man who does that for me. I don't have to do any of this. I got someone who does that for me. I don't have to get out here and compete at a high level. I'm so valuable, I got other people competing for me at a high level, and they bring it to me. That's what gives a woman status. Not her ability to get out here and huff and puff and sweat and grind on her own. That gives you no status. And you know that. You get no status from doing that. Your status comes from the quality of the man and the quality of producer and the quality of productivity you can get from him. That's what gives you your status. Nothing you do can give you that, except your ability to attract him. That's all you can do, is attract him and get it. That's it. And the big lie is when older women like yourself sit up here and tell young females, you're just running down the litany of things that do nothing for them. And they'll sit there believing that. She had the ability, at least her career was elevated from the fact that, by the way, I'm with DaBaby. Now, she shouldn't have had a baby with DaBaby, but the problem is she was able to say that. And for a minute, she was able to at least claim that she was at the top of the food chain. That was what gave her status. One of the hottest rappers in the world, and at least I can claim a connection to him. So that must mean my career is worth something, because I've got other valuable people who fool with me at a high level. At least that's what she was able to claim. And no matter what else was going on, at least she could claim that. But what he came and did to say,
I know, but it's not making me want to be in her place. I mean, looking at her, it doesn't make me, I want to be next in line to be treated like that. And I would have told my sister, my daughter, whoever, if a man doesn't want you somewhere, then I don't care. You just have to get up and leave, because you have more self-respect for yourself than to be treated like that on live in front of everybody to see it.
Okay, so you said, you said you would never tell your sister that. You would never tell your daughter that. What would you tell your husband?
See, that's the thing. Like, I've never been put out by my husband. Or
let me try this again. Ma'am, let's try this again.
I don't know. I've never been put out.
What would you tell your husband?
I've never been asked to leave.
Okay. Have you discussed this with your husband?
About putting me out? Good.
Yeah, I noticed you haven't mentioned. Okay, I noticed you haven't mentioned a husband.
I'm married. I have a husband.
I find that difficult to believe.
I'm married.
I find that I find that difficult to believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now, based on what you just said, I find that difficult to believe. I think you're false flagging.
I've been married 3 years, and we've been together 8.
How old are you?
I'm 45.
You're 45, and he married you at 42.
Yes.
And how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 27.
And is that his child?
No, that's for my first husband. This is my second husband.
Oh,
my first husband had 3.
There you
and
go.
Then this my second husband. We have 1.
All right. Well, now that explains things. That explains things.
Mm-hmm.
What does your husband do for a living?
What
does your husband do for a living?
He's a truck driver.
Okay. Perfectly fine, respectable. How many kids does he have?
He has 5. 1 by me and 4 other.
There you go. No shame, no shame. Just
we both have one
that's
together.
Okay. No shame, no shame. Just thank you very much for your candor. I appreciate that, because it's very important that people know all the pertinent information. Now they've got the pertinent information. So, yeah, of course you have you've engaged in that behavior. Don't for a second act like you haven't. But of course you have. However, the key difference for you, though, is you ain't never really had a dude that was worth you doing that over. You never had a dude who could do that. So since you've never had a dude who could do that, you've never been in a position where you could react that way. You're totally capable of it, but you've never been in a position that drove you just like, I'll be damned. Of course you're not going to do that. Baby, you ain't going to sit up here and risk going to jail for a truck driver with 5 kids.
Well, women have acted like that.
No.
Have been broke.
Ma'am. Okay. First of all, you're not going to act like that with a truck driver with 5 kids. You're not going to do that. That's the first thing. Well, yeah, but then again, most women wouldn't. Now, to the point that you just attempted to make, which is a deflection, to the point you just attempted to make, well, there are females who have done that. You're absolutely correct. There are also females who have eaten cat food. Yeah. The real issue is how valuable they see the guy as being. And what I'm saying is the average female of any age is not going to look at a dude with 5 kids and respond like that. Now, if she's one of the dudes that he roped in before he got to 5, well, yeah. A broad who's down and out, well, yeah. But the bottom line is, women as a group are not competing for a guy with 5 kids.
DaBaby, how many does he have? And baby mamas? So just because
as I understand it,
makes it
okay.
That
as
makes
I
it right,
understand
so.
it, he has a gang of them. So, but then again, that's
exactly
okay. But that doesn't okay. But then again, take a look at his level of productivity. Take a look at where. Okay,
so
let's be clear. Let's be clear. With all due respect, you and the men you've dealt with were arguing in y'all's 1,200-foot apartment. He's arguing with her at a penthouse or a 5-star hotel ambassador suite somewhere. There's a big difference between those two.
She's still stressed out.
Okay, but she's stressed.
And she's stressed out, and now she's having assault in a big 12-foot however square many feet mansion it is. If she's acting out in a 1-bedroom or a 20-bedroom.
How long were you married to your first husband?
We was together. I was married 7 years. We was together for 16 years.
Okay.
We got a divorce when I was 30.
And why did you get divorced at 30?
Because it just we didn't see eye to eye anymore as far as like moving. I was building my career and everything, and he just seemed like he didn't want to be a little bit more motivated. So I decided to just branch off and
a little more motivated. Is that your way of saying he didn't make enough money?
He fell off. Well, you know what? It's a long story.
Yeah, is that your roundabout way? Is that your roundabout? Okay, thank you. There you go. That's her roundabout way of trying to say that, okay, ma'am, let's not talk over the host. You hear me fine. That's your roundabout way of trying to say he didn't make enough money.
We were 16 when we met.
Women initiate 80%. 80% of the divorces are initiated by females, and the majority of divorces are over money. And that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know about women and what they value. So what you meant is, yeah, he's not producing enough.
He could have did more, yeah. But we were young when we met.
Thank you. And as I said, you ain't never been in Danny's position to be able to be upset with nobody at the penthouse.
Well, no, I haven't. But it really wouldn't matter.
Therein lies my point. You've never been
I wouldn't want to be Danny regardless.
Okay, but you haven't had, that's easy for you to say, you haven't had the option.
I wouldn't want to be in her shoes, though. Anyways, I wouldn't want to still be in her shoes with him and all of that. I wouldn't, the money doesn't make you want to be happy with somebody like that.
That is easy to say when you don't have the option.
Yeah.
That is simple to say.
Okay.
That is simple to say. It's very easy to sit here and say that's a virtue. You don't have the option of doing it. And you were already with a guy who wasn't. So what I'm saying is you left him because you didn't have that option. So if you ever actually had the option to do that, you can't sit up here and say about how you would respond to a situation you've never been blessed to be in. Very easy to talk about what you wouldn't do for something you've never had.
I could have, but I didn't want to be like Danny and be somebody's side chick. I'm a wife. I've been married. I don't want to be somebody's side chick in a penthouse living.
You said that was stressful.
I don't want to be in that position.
You said that what she's going through is stressful, and yet you were married to a dude, and it was apparently so stressful to you, you left that too, and that didn't involve any of the circumstances that she's dealing with.
Yeah, but I was young. How old is Danny?
Excuse me. You were understanding. Let's be very, very clear. You were not ignorant. Let's be very clear. You were not ignorant. A 10-year-old can understand what she's dealing with.
Kind of different situation.
No, it's not. It's not a different situation. It's not a different situation. You were willing to accept that situation. You were willing to accept it. What I'm saying is, both of y'all dealt with stress.
Neither one of us had kids, Jason.
Both of y'all
didn't have kids.
Both of y'all
she don't
dealt
have
with
any
stress.
kids, and she go get a man with 3, 4, 5, a ton of kids, and thinking she winning. Regardless, she could have picked a whole lot of other men that had money.
I agree.
Producing, and she chose him.
No. You're assuming she could. She might not have been eligible for any of them. You're assuming that she might not have been eligible. Well, but when we compare what y'all were eligible,
she's his baby mama.
Well, yeah, that is very, very true. That's certainly not a situation to be in, but be that as it may, it's very easy to talk about what you wouldn't do when you left a guy because your whole reason was, well, yeah, he's a good guy, but he ain't making enough money. That was, for you, that was
Why you keep talking about me? We're talking about Danileigh and DaBaby.
Okay, because that was too stressful for you. And it wasn't even the same circumstances that she's having to deal with. So what I'm saying is you didn't even have to deal with the same circumstances she had to deal with, and you couldn't take it from a guy who wasn't doing what DaBaby was doing. You had a fellow who apparently was completely faithful to you. No baby mama drama, no none of that. You just couldn't sit there and be like, okay, well, let me get his finances together. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to stick around for that. So there's my point is, we kind of choose our battles. That's my point. In the chat room here, though, I'll tell my mods to go ahead and unblock you. But I wanted everybody to learn a good lesson from this. I think this has been a very good case in point for that. Thank you very much for giving us a call. To the young ladies listening, like I say, these old chicks will mislead you. They'll mislead you. They'll sit up here and fabricate their lies. If you don't ask the right questions, you'll find out, oh, hell, they run the game. Caller from area code 202. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is Bella calling from Hyattsville, Maryland. I just wanted to chime in and say the question you asked, you're absolutely right. If a girl really likes you, she's going to go crazy. She's going to lose her mind. If I'm seeing a guy and I don't really like him like that, I'm very quiet. I'm very peaceful. I don't start drama. But if I like a guy, I'm going to be slightly chaotic. So yeah, I think that's why Danny did that, because DaBaby, that was the best thing. That was her best option. And that was her last train coming. She can't do no better than him. So I would have went crazy too.
How old are you, Bella?
I'm 28.
Well, I'm glad that you are honest with yourself, because the real reason that most people in this life cannot get what they want is because they refuse to be honest with themselves about exactly what they want and exactly what they're not going to put up with. There is a time and a place to go crazy in this world. There is. So don't let some old females sit up here and tell you there isn't. There is a time and a place to wig out. There really is. There really is. There is a time to lose your composure. There absolutely is. There is a time and a place to fall down on your knees and be begging like James Brown. There is a time and a place for that. It ain't Faith Evans. No, there is a time to beg. It ain't Faith Evans. It's never going to be time to do it over there. But yeah, there is a time and a place to do that. So my point is, if somebody's got you in a situation or is talking to you in such a way to tell you, oh, I would never do that, don't let these old females fool you. Talking about what they wouldn't do. Please. They're the ones who invented it. They're the ones who invented it.
The reason why they say they would never do it is because most women would not be in a position to even have that type of experience with a man like that, with a producer. So, of course, you can say you never done it because you never experienced it.
And then they'll come back and tell you what they wouldn't do. So I just don't want you all to be fooled about that. Now, I'm not telling you go out and go get an assault charge. That's not what I'm telling you. I am telling you might need to get one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Yes. I'm not telling you go get one. I'm telling you might need to get one. I don't know. I can't tell you definitively. I can't necessarily say that. But what I am going to say here is, you might be required to fight to keep your man. I don't know. That could occur. I will tell you one thing. A female doesn't respect a man who wouldn't fight to keep her. Now, she shouldn't be leading him into no mess. Now, that's not the situation. But a female doesn't respect a man who makes it clear, I would never raise my fist in anger to anybody over you. I would never do it. Fellas, if you want to see a female's attraction to you just shrivel up and die, say those words to her. I would, baby, I love you, but I would never, ever in my life lift my fist to someone in anger over you. Never. Never, ever. Go ahead and say that to him. Watch how she responds to that. I promise you it won't be good.
No, and it's really interesting about, I don't know what it is about the female psychology, why we act like this, but sometimes I wish men would understand how we get so they can have a little bit more grace when we do act crazy, because it's just a sign that we really like them.
Well, I will tell you one thing. The environment and the landscape has radically changed. It used to be you kept your family and your friends out your damn business. It also used to be that you kept the state out of your business too. Now that's what it used to be. Too many third parties today have access to people's personal lives. The state, the media, your family, your friends, your job. There are too many third-party influences that have access. It used to be that you were turned over to a man and society put extreme responsibilities on him to you because they gave him full authority. Let me say that again. It used to be that we put tremendous responsibilities on men because we gave him full authority. So he had full authority over the women, the children. Now we got a situation where we want to give the men all the responsibilities, but no authority. And that's why males today are just like, yeah, I'm not signing up for marriage because that's going to give me a bunch of responsibilities I didn't ask for and give me no authority. As a matter of fact, other folk will have authority over me. So that's the real reason it's so hard for you all to get married today. So in reality, it was a whole lot better back then. And by the way, that also includes people passing licks, because back then, if a fella did something like that, you called your brothers, you called your uncle, you called your dad. That's what used to happen. I'm from Louisiana. That's what used to happen. Some of y'all are old enough to remember it, not you. But some of y'all here are old enough to remember that. If something went down, just understand she's not calling the police. She's calling her brother. She's calling her uncle. Somebody's coming over. They might have a gun, but they won't have a badge. They might have a gun, but they won't have a badge. So that's the way it used to be. That's the way it used to happen. Adultery didn't used to be so common because if somebody showed up, whatever happens next is whatever's going to happen next. And there's not a lot of motivation by the government or the state or the media or your friends or the neighborhood to get involved. The neighborhood was cohesive for the children, but as far as the parents, as far as the adults, they had to handle that however they handle that. And that's when you used to put responsibility in people's hands, it was different. You see, females didn't used to fly by their draws back when they were left to be responsible for the decisions. So she never would have become a baby mama in the first place because she would have understood you're going to be stuck with that. We're putting responsibility and authority on you, but starting with the responsibility, you're going to be stuck with that. So she's not going to see it as a game. So she's going to be like, yeah, I don't give a damn if you the baby, the adolescent, the old man, I'm not fooling with you. Yeah, I'm not going to get stuck with that. Because there's nobody to come help me. You see, you can have a child with a man. You can do that. You can go off and go get pregnant by somebody. You can have the baby, but you can't make him care. You can't make him become your producer. You can't force a man to become your producer. You can't force that on him. And now you got a bunch of females who are stuck in a situation where they're doing what their grandparents did getting pregnant, and that's the only similarity. They don't have anybody who's committed to producing for them. But what really used to change things is folks were responsible for their actions. They're responsible for that. So you go off and go have a baby with a chick, that's it. And if you were a chick who had a baby with a bum and a drug addict and whatever, so you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that. And if y'all have problems, y'all are gonna have to work that out. including if you talk to him crazy. I'm gonna get in real trouble tonight. Including if you talk to him crazy. Like, I'm just gonna say right now, when he's sitting there in front of her, you are my side chick. It's like, okay, well, I certainly hope this don't escalate. And in a perfectly civil world, I imagine that, but I'm just keeping it straight. I'm just saying, dude, you know, them fighting words. That's that he's throwing verbal licks. She might respond with some more verbal licks. Then again, she might respond differently. What I'm saying is, in Japanese society, do you know why people are so reserved? They say it's a civil society. You know why? Because they had 500 years of a warring states period in Japan. That went on for centuries. The samurai, you're carrying around 2 swords. That went on for centuries. Centuries that went on. Study your Japanese history. Hell, study your Chinese history. I mean, they were over there going at it for centuries. Not a couple of weeks. I'm talking about it was bloody and horrible for centuries. That's why they enacted the Code of Bushido and other things to try to tamp this down. Because anytime, any place, anywhere, it could be on sight. That was Japanese society. And they started, I mean, it was so strict over there. I mean, you talk about folks stepping on your shoes over there. It was so strict over there when they talk about saving face. You can't even look at somebody sideways. That's an act of disrespect. You can't turn your back on them when you walk away. That's an act of disrespect. You like, I'm just walking off. No, you didn't. You turn your back. How the hell am I supposed to turn my back without, how am I supposed to walk off and turn my back? You can walk backwards. Huh? I might fall over something. Fall over it. But you turn your back to me and we got problems. I'm not going to let people see that. I'm just saying, even the things that were innocent misunderstandings, like, no, we can't even have the optics that you've done that. So that's the reason why people over there, they have what is it, Hypergamy tummy talk. You have to watch how you speak. Watch the way in which you speak to people. Because this can go left real quick. Talking reckless can go left real quick. The internet has become a place where people sit up here and specialize in doing that stuff. And every once in a while, somebody catches you on the street. And we see where, oh, he ain't that dude out there. I've got movie premieres. By the way, I've got Meet the Director. Anybody who wants to see me pony up the money, I come see you. You can see me. It's not free. But on the internet, like I say, people sit up here and stuff and they just say anything. If they're in a situation where it's like, okay, you know, you got to be responsible for that. And I'm talking about for men and women. People, we've allowed the immaturity to just go off the damn scales because we have eliminated responsibility for their actions. There's a way in which you talk to a man. You don't talk to a man in a way that emasculates him. You don't do that. Mm-hmm. Because if he ever needs to defend you, you don't want an emasculated man standing there. So first and foremost, don't emasculate the man because you don't, if a situation comes up where you need him to do that, you don't want an emasculated toothless lion sitting there. A toothless lion is useless. Well, likewise, as a female, we don't want to sit here and affront a lady's honor. First of all, you got to have it. But you also don't want to insult a lady's honor. If you know she ain't out there in them streets like that, don't say that, dude. Because that's what makes a female valuable. Mm-hmm. A female is valuable because her draws ain't in the streets like that. Okay, well, don't say she in the streets like that if she isn't. If she ain't in the streets like that, don't say that. Because now, that is the equivalent of emasculating her. You've just done that. Now, what's she supposed to do? Because when you say something like that, that has a real world effect on her reputation. That is going to have a physical effect on her. That's why she responds like that. Because what you're doing right now is going to have a real world physical effect on her. Sponsorships, advertisements, people talking crap on Instagram. Her reputation, her status just took a hit. I wouldn't be surprised if she's going to swing on you. I wouldn't be surprised if she swings on you. Because you've just verbally assaulted her. I know what they say in the about society and everything like that. Okay, that sounds cute and everything, but let's just be very, very clear. We understand what that is. But we created a society where we say it's okay for folks to go around verbally assaulting each other. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that. That doesn't mean that you're supposed to be temperamental. I always believe what Andre Brower said on Homicide, he who loses control loses. Absolutely. But I also understand, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say and who you say it to. And if you do say something, then you better be prepared for however this goes. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you can talk however you want to and ain't nothing going to happen. I was watching something that somebody put up something from the actor Daniel Craig. He said that he told his children that if he's being bullied by somebody at school, they have permission to punch you in the face. I'm telling you right now, for the boys and stuff, if somebody's trying to emasculate you, especially as the young boys, there's only a certain amount of that you tolerate. You don't let people just sit up here and get in your face and just talk to you in the old kind of way. Because I don't ever want them to accept that as a core of who they're supposed to be. That people can just say whatever to you and that's supposed to be all right. No, that's only to a point that's going to happen. Might not be a very long point. It might be the first time you say something offhand, it goes a certain way. Might be a certain way like that. So it is what it is. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight and for your honesty on that. Let me get caller from area code 317. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, they are out pressure washing their sidewalk. Caller from area code 267. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, folks are playing on the phone. I'm going to start getting them medical attention if I need to. Caller from area code 701. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Lorraine calling from Fargo.
Hello, Lorraine from Fargo. Turn off your speakers.
I'm not on speakerphone. Okay. I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. That's a motorcycle back there. All right, I heard something
that was a little white boy and a little Mitsubishi.
All right, what's on your mind, Lorraine?
Okay, so I'm just calling. Because I've talked to you a lot of times. I've talked to you on the Black Authority, but I'm calling on here tonight because everything that you are saying is like hitting on everything. And I think like just the acknowledgement of so many different things, just as far as, everybody stopping the games, when it comes to men and women. And you do that every single broadcast. But I think tonight, I've been listening for so long that I think tonight, if it don't hit a lot of women, you might be offended by the things that are said, but some things just have to be said. And a lot of us are like so, in our own little world and think the world revolves around us, kind of like I think how she thought about herself. You have to bring, like you said, you have to bring so much more than being cute. You have to actually be about something. Like you said, you beauty, yeah. I'm not saying that, like, I'm a bigger woman, so everybody wouldn't want to, be attracted to me. But after the relationship that I had, and the only reason why I think that I had a lot of emphasis on ending the relationship that I had, and I'm not blaming anyone, but you straight out told me, if my peoples he ain't fooling with you like that. And it made me think about it. And that's just being real. Like, we all know, and you said it, but us women, sometimes we'll sit up and cry victim. But if you done been a co-conspirator and being mistreated by a man, you sometimes have had some kind of, like,
well, Lorraine, can you be honest here? How old are you?
Yeah. I am 39.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I do. I've talked to you before.
Lorraine, have you ever hit a man? Be honest. It's just you, me, and the 4,000.
Have I ever hit a man?
Has a fella ever said something you didn't like and you slapped him?
I can't say I hit him. I done went off.
I done had times when I done went off, but I ain't never hit him.
Has a man ever said something you didn't like and you touched him?
Probably push, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Definitely would be honest.
And
I think that we definitely
that's all we're looking
need
for
to do
here.
better.
Well, let me explain something. Well, I mean, I just want us all to be honest about that, because I think that candor is important here. Because let me tell you something. For all the folks who may be listening right now, they're like, that ain't right there. Folks just say something to you. You ain't gonna be doing that. Okay, let me give you an example here. You got kids, right? Let's just say you have a 5-year-old daughter. So if some other chick in the neighborhood walks up and says, yo, daughter, that's an ugly little bastard. Right there in front of you and your daughter. Looks at your daughter and says, oh, Ray, your daughter is ugly. What is your response?
Of course, you're gonna be defensive.
There's my point.
I'm just saying. You're gonna go there.
I'm just saying.
You're just gonna be like, what? If
somebody gets in front of your child, if somebody jumps in front of your child talking about, oh, this is your daughter, oh, that's an ugly little hoe. They just nominated themselves for ass whooping. They just put in their bid to be nominated to get their ass broken. Right there. On site. Right there as it is. If you're at a restaurant and some dude walks up and is talking about your woman is ugly, or he's talking all reckless and whatnot, he just nominated himself to get his teeth removed. So anybody talking about, well, they just said something, I mean, I would just leave. I wouldn't have been, I mean, all they did was just talk to me. Okay. All right. Go ahead and say that. What I'm saying there is that there are situations where, yeah, that can happen. So anybody who wants to sit here and say, oh, they never asked you. They never a reason for that. Okay. All right.
Man, and then like you said, the verbal thing. Females don't think that. Females think automatically just because if a man don't jump on you or fight you or something like that to disrespect you, like you said, verbally telling you who you are in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, us as women, we will sit up and accept and know. We'll know how somebody really feel about us. We'll know our position. She tried to prove her position so much because she knew she truly didn't have a position. And that's not like the way that you're breaking it down. I don't care. Any woman that's listening, for real, if you I can even see it for myself, and I think I'm trying to be a better person, and I'm trying to up my standards to the point where I can actually do it. You know, I want to believe in myself, so I want to do the things that I need to do. But for real, we need to stop. We are not always the victims, and sometimes when she know what DaBaby was doing. Come on, like you said, she knew her position. She was one of many. She knew it. Well, traveling everywhere. She went with him every time they was out.
Clearly, it was worth the cost at the beginning. But first and foremost, though, you know what you're buying. You know who he is. You know what you're getting. You know what you're buying. It's just that simple.
That's it.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I want you to imagine that you are in line at Costco with your grandmother. For anybody sitting here talking about it, there ain't no reason for that right there. Somebody talk to you, you can't just put hands on people because they talking. Okay, you're in line at the grocery store. You're in line at Costco's. You're with your grandmama. Your grandmama is 85 years old. And imagine some old white supremacist behind you, and he's talking about, that old woman need to move faster. You just gonna leave that there? Because I'm telling you right now, I keep bail money just for situations like that. I keep bail money. So believe me, if you see me out and about, understand something. I keep bail and a bondsman. My lawyer, my bondsman on speed dial. Believe me. Believe me. You tell me. You sitting in line at the store. Your grandmama sitting here about 80-something years old. That ugly ass old woman up there need to move. Really? Really now? Really? Okay. Y'all just gonna leave that there? That's it? So just Jason, you know, I mean, what he said, that wasn't right, Jason, but I'm taking the high road. Jason, I'm taking the high road. I'm not gonna sit here and follow. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus, Jason. I'm not gonna do that there now. You be leading people down the wrong route now. I'm not gonna do that, Jason. I'm not doing it. Is that you? You tell me. You just gonna sit there and ignore it? Or is it about to be a world star moment? You tell me. All they did was talk, Jason. You can ignore that there. All they did was talk. That's all. Caller from area code 352. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay. Caller from area code 352. Last try. You're on live. Okay, I must be getting flooded with some Kitten Heels callers, I guess. I'm going to probably see about winding this down here then, since I'm having some issues with that. And besides, we've been going on 2.5 hours here and whatnot. I don't want to go too long in that regard. Although in the chat room, there is somebody who wanted to ask who made a statement there. So we're going to give them an opportunity to go ahead and call or be removed, one or the other. We'll give them a chance to call or be removed, one or the other here. But there's some lessons I want you all to take away from this here tonight about what happens when you can't handle your business. And there are lessons to be learned, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing in that regard. Caller from area code 352, why are you playing on my phone?
Not trying to play on the phone, Jason. This is Patrick from the last phone call you made. I made it earlier. Kind of nervous right now, but good to talk to you, Jason. I'm over in Tavares, Florida. Patrick. Hello.
And what's on your mind?
I was calling back because I actually didn't exactly catch the entire show, but I know that you guys have been talking about the baby and his situation, and I guess my question to you, I really kind of wanted to revisit that phone call I had earlier with you, to be honest with you. The phone call about my situation with my wife and my 4 kids, and the fact that I was unemployed.
Oh boy! Well, this will be a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, your phone mysteriously dropped after you said that, so we didn't get to actually finish your call.
Correct. I live in a rural area outside of Orlando. So, yeah, was trying to get that phone call back in, to be honest with you.
Tell me more.
Well, let's see. I guess we could kind of just start with where we left off. Basically, that situation that I had brought up to you was some hypothetical crap test, if you will, from my wife to see where my head was at and everything. And
for those of you who don't remember, really this gentleman, basically his wife was saying she wanted to stay in contact with one of her exes.
Yeah. So the situation was that we were at her mother's house, or my mother-in-law's home, and her mother-in-law is in touch with her ex, you know, been in touch with him for years and whatnot. But as far as it goes, he actually pulled up on us at his at that house. I didn't know that, you know, this relationship that with mom and whatnot. But pulls up to the house, and long story short, you know, it was just an amicable situation, and you know, he ended up leaving. But that crap test situation is what she was.
It was an amicable situation. Why? And stop fumbling with your phone. It was an amicable situation. Why?
I left it at an amicable situation.
There you go. It was an amicable situation because you didn't make a situation of it.
Correct.
And part of the reason that occurred is because they knew you wasn't gonna make a situation of it.
Well, they didn't know, and that was the thing.
They did. Yeah, they did know. Clearly, they did because look how it went.
Look.
They did know because look how it went.
Well, I don't know.
I do know. I do know.
All right.
So here's the real thing about it, though. The real thing about it, though, is what would your woman have to lose? If she lost you tomorrow,
everything.
If she lost you tomorrow, what is she losing?
She'll lose the kids, the house.
If she lost you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what she would lose.
Right now, you ain't even working. So, what does your wife do for a living?
She creates websites.
Okay, so your wife is a website designer.
Create this business.
Your wife is a website designer, and you are a professional couch rider. So, tell me exactly how she's losing anything.
Yeah, I was just talking about exactly the tangible things that, you know.
Okay, but how is it you're a factor in her losing that? You're not even working. What are you talking about? How do you play a factor in her keeping those things?
I mean, I'm working, but I don't have a skill. I don't have a true trade. So I'm just getting by, you know, from jumping from job to job situation.
Okay, who makes more money, you or her?
Right. I am right now. She's not making really anything because we just had the baby and she kind of shut down for the past year, and so she ain't really doing nothing. But
this is your fourth child, so you certainly haven't had any reservations about getting her pregnant previously.
Right. Correct.
Okay. What was she doing for a living? What was she doing for a living when you had the first child?
She was riding the couch. I was doing CNA.
Okay. And in Florida?
Well, I was doing car sales, and then I went to CNA.
Okay, but is that in Florida?
In Florida?
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask a question here. Tell me about your wife. How old is she?
Beautiful, stunning woman, age 29. You know, she definitely got the website development situation going on. Can definitely make this happen. You know,
where are her people from? Where are her people from?
Her background is trash, but her peoples, I believe, are from Texas. She was born in Texas.
Well, I'm talking about ethnically.
Yeah, from here, from the U.S.
Okay, that doesn't tell me her race, sir.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. she's just foundational Black American. So her people are from the killing slaves of the South. Well, in Texas at least.
Okay, so her folks are from Texas, and somehow she ended up in Florida.
Yeah. So her mother and her father passed away. Well, not yet. I'm fast forward. Her mother and father, they had the baby, and he took the baby to Florida. So he took her to Florida around age 3.
And why are you saying that her background is trash?
Because her family's not there for that, on that side, her real family, I should say. Father, he was gunned down, and then her mother's a crackhead, so she's trying to turn life to normal.
And you didn't think that was going to rub off on her?
Well, it somewhat didn't, because she was saved by her other mother, her new mom, if you will, her second mom.
Okay, but
so
the real thing is a female in that position I wouldn't be surprised if she's clingy with dudes and holds on to relationships.
Right. I would agree. But that's pretty much what kind of my MO as well. Like, that's what I kind of enjoy.
Okay. Well, like I said, that does make them easier because they're emotionally vulnerable, but at the same time, it also makes them mercurial. For those of you who don't know what that means, it also makes them prone to jumping around.
Mm.
And the best way to jump around is to position yourself to be able to do so.
Right.
So there y'all are.
But yeah. I mean, as far as it goes, again, it was just a pull up on me, and I mean, it could have went sideways.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, will you? I'd like to see a picture.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a picture of her.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind, but then again, let me go ahead and do that. What do I send it?
I just sent you a text message. You can respond to that number.
All right.
I have a couple
a
couple of suspicions. Well, it's not going to go out publicly, so I'm not going to put your business out there. I don't do that. But there's something in particular I'm looking for. And I don't want to say anything just yet, because if I do, it might encourage you to go in a different way with your answers. So in order to ensure that your answers are honest and forthcoming, I would just like to take a look at her real quick. That's all. And that'll probably satisfy
all right, Jason, if you
questions for me.
If you don't mind, I'm going to put you on mute and handle that real quick. Hold on.
Needs to be informative here as well. For everyone who is just now joining us here, by the way, we've been talking about tonight about when you can't handle your business. This fella actually called me here, I think, last week or so, and we were discussing about this situation here. So his phone call had dropped at the time. Fortunately, now we have a little bit of time to be able to go ahead and review that. A lot to learn in this regard here, especially when females come from troubled backgrounds or whatever. You know, it does kick in a male gene or a male tendency to be able to go in and rescue folk. And that's the kind of thing to take a look at. That can lead to other things. It can be very tempting to find a female who is vulnerable. She's going through some things and she's vulnerable. Yeah, but chicks who are vulnerable, they deal with their vulnerability. And sometimes their manner in dealing with their vulnerability is, well, since I can't really rely on people, let me gather as many as I can. Remember, I taught you, men gather resources, women gather men. So if a woman wants to make herself secure, she tries to have as many men available as she can, especially if she's not used to being able to hold on to them. So that can prove to be a bigger issue. If she's not really used to holding on to men very well, yeah, that can become a problem. In the chat room there, yeah, let's get to 2,000 likes. What y'all doing, man? Come on now. You liking what you're hearing here? We're actually dealing with some real stuff here. Let's go ahead and testify. Brother, what are you doing over there? That's another thing. That's odd. He wants to put me on mute for that. So I'm not sure what's going on.
It is sending right now. It's just slow, I guess.
Okay, brother. Well,
it's almost there.
That's what I'm saying. She might be upset over y'all cell phone service, bro. Listen, what do you say? She's looking for a nigga.
The boonies, man. The boonies.
She's looking for a nigga with Verizon. That's what she's holding out for. She's like, hell, if I get a nigga with Sprint or Verizon, I'll be in good shape. So she's trying to do what she's doing. This T-Mobile thing ain't working. So I don't know. She's just trying to get in where she fit in. She's like, hell, can I finish a phone call? All right. Well, in the meantime here, I'm going to be waiting for that to send here. I'm going to get in one more call. Just stay on the line for me here. I'm going to get in another call here while we're waiting on that to show itself. Let me get caller from area code 203. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Jason. My name is Andre. I'm calling you from North Carolina.
Okay, Andre from where at North Carolina?
I'm currently in Raleigh.
Okay, Andre from Raleigh. What's on your mind?
I have a quick question for you in reference to the handling of the business.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with your phone here. Your reception's kind of bad. If you're on speaker or something, you need to take it off.
Oh, no. I'm not on speaker, sir.
Okay.
Is my reception still poor?
Try to hold your head out the window. What exactly did you want to ask me?
In relation to handling your business, let's say you and someone that you're dating, you're starting off at the same point in terms of resources, financially, economically, education-wise, and they reach a particular destination well ahead of you. The female does, and now the dynamic, the relationship, the power dynamic has changed. How do you recommend, like, let's say for me, I'll give my example. So I was in the military dating someone that went ahead and she graduated, became an RN, was making a significant amount more money than me. And I immediately noticed the power dynamic in the relationship change. Do you recommend, like, holding out until you get to your destination? And do you feel that enough shouldn't be? That education and getting more money shouldn't change the power dynamic? Or what do you recommend in that scenario?
Typically speaking, certainty is what arms hypergamy. And the real thing is, a woman wants to see whether or not you're going somewhere. So if she got with you, she was interested enough because she liked something she saw. And women get with men who make less money than them all the time. The real thing is they're taking a look at you as a complete holistic package. And if it looks like you've stagnated, if it looks like all she can see from you is what she's going to get, then eventually whatever it was that attracted her is going to grow old because that other part of the equation is not being satisfied. So if she feels like, okay, this guy's in the military and nothing else, then yeah, whatever it was that initially attracted her to you is eventually going to wear off. And then she's going to be like, okay, so what's next? And that's where the, oh, she makes more money in education things comes in. Because she's like, okay, I'm progressing. What is he doing? So she starts comparing her progress to yours. And if she finds that you're not equals, then yeah, then her attitude towards you is going to change.
Okay, so fast forward. I separated from the military, right? She was making six figures. I separated from the military. I'm a government contractor now. And I'm making more money than her. Even then, right, it felt more competitive than it felt cooperative. It felt like initially it was cool, like, okay, I make more money than you, he's striving. But the moment I separated now and I make more, it felt more competitive than cooperative. Do you try to get a woman to cooperate, or do you just cut your losses in a scenario like that?
How long have you known each other?
5 years.
Okay. Do you have any kids together?
No, sir.
Okay. How old is she right now?
35.
She's 35 and has no kids.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has she ever been married?
No, sir.
Okay. You do realize that's a warning sign. A female who makes it all the way to her 30s and nobody's taking her off the market. It's not about a chick going off having kids. It's not weird that you don't have children. But if she's gone over 3.5 decades and no man took her off the market, it's because there were warning signs and red flags all over the place. So we can't really ignore those. We can't really ignore those. If a woman's in her 30s and still single and no man has taken her off the market, it's because she's not worth taking or she can't be taken off the market. But that's indicative of deeper problems. Because if a chick is wife material, man, she's getting snapped up at 21, 22. If she's wife material, it's too damn easy to get married. So if she's still hanging out here like a broke pinky toe at 35, it's because there's a problem. And all the other guys who've been with her before, they've seen it. And they're like, yeah, let me steer clear of that. It's not coincidental. If she's still single, it's not a coincidence.
Good point. Okay, yeah, good info. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just the competitive part for me as well.
Okay, but slow down. Now, you're not married to her, right?
No, sir.
Okay,
no, sir.
That should be a warning sign for you. We've been together 5 years, and I'm not trying to marry her. It doesn't take 5 years to figure out.
She was pushing for it.
It doesn't take 5 years. Yeah, but you ain't. It doesn't take 5 years to figure out if she's wife material. So you're like, she's cool chick material for a time. Let me ask you one other question. Well, two other questions here. How tall are you?
I'm 5'9", sir.
Okay. And how much do you weigh at 5'9"?
200. But I'm at a 13% body fat. I work out every day.
Okay. Well, if that's the truth, then the female should be responding in kind.
Indeed, at least physically. I don't project my income.
Here's the real thing. Okay,
wallet.
Here's the real thing. The real thing is, if other females not competing to be with you, then yeah, her attitude and demeanor are going to reflect it also. So I'm seeing, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of competition for you. If it is, it's not trying very hard. And so she's responding in kind.
Good point.
So what I'm saying is, really, it may be better in this situation here. It might be better for y'all to take a break for a little while, at least so you can demonstrate that you can pull some other females who are of equal or greater value, and give her a chance to reevaluate. She needs to be given a chance to reevaluate. But you can't reevaluate when you have no leverage. And as a man, there's only one form of leverage: when you've got other females competing to be with you. If you don't have that, you have no leverage. She can see it. As men, we can't bluff. We either got other females competing to be with us or we don't. So that's what she's looking for.
Good point. That's great advice, Jason. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, get your weight up. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say, females don't leave those things to chance. They don't leave that to chance. Let me get caller from area code 267. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. How you doing?
Why are you folks calling in tonight and you are not ready for life? Okay, this heifer is calling me from the bottom of a cereal box. Caller from area code 267. You're on live with The Business. This is another 267.
How you doing? Good afternoon, Jason. This is Timmy calling from PA.
Okay, Timmy, I've told you before. Why do you keep pressing 1 when you call in?
Sorry about that. Hold on.
But you do that every single time.
My apologies. Can you hear me?
Now, the next time you do it, you'll just be stopped. What is on your mind?
Hell yeah. Just wanted to give thanks and appreciation for all what you're doing. I think this show is great. I do see a lot of what you're talking about, and I really like what you're doing. Just keep on doing it, and a lot of your what you do, I see the results. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, but you definitely need more people like you.
Thank you for your call.
All right, thanks.
Sir, I am still waiting. Not sure what's going on here. Still waiting on that. There you go. That's better. All right, you can go ahead and wake up over there. Yes, you can speak. Bro, you're killing my program right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question.
Wake up over there. Let's try that. All right, I've got what I wanted to see here. I can see how you got off into this. How old is she again right now?
29.
Okay. You need to understand that she's 29 years old, and even though y'all have had 4 kids, she's still in the back of her head is telling herself that she is good enough to re-enter the sexual marketplace. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And if she's willing,
I do.
Okay, and one more thing. Bruh, I've told you before, stop fighting with the phone. This is basic phone incompetence. What in the world? You're sitting over there rattling the phone around.
I promise you.
Sit down.
I am.
In any case, she is telling herself that she is young enough and cute enough to be able to re-enter the sexual marketplace. She certainly is not toe to hell back. So I can see how some dudes would be interested in that. Especially in that area you all are living in. So, yeah, that could definitely happen. Now, what her options are, I am not certain about. Not really certain. But what I will say is that...
Her career...
Okay, you're talking again. At her age, and with her looks being what they are, how she looks stretched out after 4 kids, I'm not sure what that midsection looks like, because it might look like a Nightmare on Elm Street. But she's a female. So in her mind, she is telling herself that she can re-enter the sexual marketplace. Well, she can always re-enter it. Now, what she going to walk out with, I'm not sure. But that's not going to stop her from wreaking havoc on your situation. And that's the real thing I'm taking a look at. That's not going to necessarily prevent her from wreaking havoc. No, she's not fat and all that and whatnot. She's got that. I mean, she's not a bad looking chick at all. So I can see how she would be thinking that she could enter the sexual marketplace. So she's a cute little chick. She's cute enough to think that she can test the waters again. And her behavior is clearly indicating that. Now, she doesn't have... I can see from her looks, I can believe the background that you say she comes from. I can see it in her eyes. And what that also means is that it's not going to be this great big psychological thing for her to look for comfort elsewhere. My thing for you is that ask yourself one question. If she left you tomorrow, what are you going to replace her with?
Shoot, just envisioning goals. I ain't got nothing in the pipeline.
Okay.
I ain't trying to have nothing in the pipeline, really.
Well, I understand that, but what I am saying is, how many females of any value are competing to be with you now? There you go.
I'm going to say none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last question.
I would say none.
How old are you now?
I'm 34.
Okay, you're 34 years old.
I'll be 34 here shortly.
You're 33 years old. You're marginally employed. You're in one of the most competitive areas in America. And you're in a place right now that's got a lot going for it, but you're in no position to deliver anything to anybody. I wonder why someone would want to keep their options open. I wonder why.
Right, I want to tell you that.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is, if I were a female with you, yeah, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, I wonder why she would want to keep her options open. I wonder why. She got 4 kids with you, and that's not motivating you. You're not competing. So you're putting her in survival mode. She's like, damn, do I want to be 29 down here with all this affluence and no access to it? I got to keep somebody in the back pocket because the guy I bet the farm on ain't delivering.
I mean, as far as it goes, I'm about $20,000 less to pay the house off. I'm almost done with that.
Okay, bro, you keep talking about that damn house. You keep talking about that damn house. How much do you make a year, sir?
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Yes, instead of giving her what she wants, you're trying to give her what you got. Now, you ain't, I mean, bro, let's cut the crap here, man. I mean, you didn't say where you live out there, and I'm not really familiar with it to be able to sit up here and talk about rural areas like that. But in Florida, bro, we talking about Daytona, we talking about West Palm. I won't get off in the really expensive areas, but we talking about Daytona, Jacksonville. Okay, she's from the other side. So I'm just saying, dude, it's like, okay, she's surrounded by all this stuff. She sees how folk are moving down there, and she's asking herself questions. You ain't moving like they moving. You got your cute little chick who ain't throwed off, and you ain't trying to elevate nothing. So she's responding.
Yeah,
she's responding to you. What she did, that's mortally offensive, but she wasn't afraid to do it because it's like, well, damn, what am I going to lose if I lose him? I'm going to have the 4 kids anyway. I'm just saying, dude, it's like she's responding to the fact that you're not focused and there is no plan. You just floating around and getting bumped around out here, man. That's not going to give anybody confidence in you. And you have to give them something to have confidence in. I'm going to pay off the house. Okay, cool. The house will be paid off. Congratulations. And?
I got high aspirations. I just need to go ahead and make it happen.
Intangibles. And remember, that grows old to a female. A woman ain't gonna want to hear about what you gonna do, because she's gonna start counting 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and then she realizes this nigga is not gonna do it, either because he will not or because he is too incompetent to be able to do it. Remember what I told you all before. A woman can't respect a man who is financially incompetent. He's a nice guy. He's got a cool personality. But if you put him in charge of your finances, he's a bumbler. He doesn't know what to do. Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's not evil. He's just incompetent. Well, don't be surprised when she doesn't put all her eggs in the basket of incompetent. Your job is to prove you're competent. At that point, respect is mandatory, because they are fortunate enough to have somebody who is proven he is competent. And you're failing the competence test. And that's your job. Nobody is supposed to be competent for you. You are supposed to prove that you're competent. And from there, all the demands you want to make after that, that comes as a side effect of proving you're competent. And right now, you're not. I went to school.
Yeah, I gotta say that I'm not.
Right now,
I'm not a financial.
I've talked to somebody else here now. You say you went to school to be a CNA.
This the same person with my wife and 4 kids.
Okay, you went to be a CNA?
Yeah, I just grabbed that quick license to get some work going.
Okay.
I got that license and
You're 33 years old. You need to finish and get your RN. That will do two things. That will do two things. Number one, it will triple your income. And number two, it will prove to people that you set goals and then you accomplish them. So you will be showing them through your actions, not your words. And when you show a woman that you moving things, as I said tonight, you show this woman you getting things done, you're progressing, then they will take you seriously otherwise. And then when you tell them you're dissatisfied about something, they snap to attention. Oh, I better knock off the bull jive.
Well, I definitely want to give you a call back on the business, maybe on the Patreon to talk about that portion of it.
There's nothing to talk about, man. There's schools all over the place. Florida's famous for this. You need to just get started. This isn't even something to talk about. You have not demonstrated that you're going anywhere or doing anything. Of course, her and her mama, yes, they are going to collaborate and be like, look, her mama taking a look at you and seeing this nigga's in the middle of Florida and can't get nothing popping off. Let me keep my daughter's options open. Because this dude ain't performing. And I'm not here to teach him how to be a man. And if she went through this with your wife's father before he got clipped, if she went through this with him, she's going to see, yeah. She's been with enough dudes who failed that she's like, okay, I can't tell my daughter to do nothing except keep them draws handy because this guy's not going, if he's not going to produce, of course she's going to help make sure that she's got other options. Your job is to demonstrate you produce, and then if they keep the bull crap up, then you have the ability to start cycling people out if you need to. But right now, bro, you ain't got no leverage, nor do you have justification to do so. You got to put some points on the board. And stop talking about it and be about it. You got to start putting some points on the board. That's it. You do that, you're going to start carrying yourself differently, and the whole damn family's going to look at you differently. But they're not going to give you no credit for what you're talking about. They're going to give you credit for what you do.
All right, so when I need to check in?
First off, after you get enrolled. And I don't mean enrolled as in I sent my paperwork. I mean enrolled as in you started your classes.
All right.
Because I don't deal with I contacted folk. I deal with, okay, I done made some moves. I'm already in it. Then I will take you seriously. Until then, I can't take it seriously. It's too easy to tell me you called some school somewhere. It's too easy to do that. I need to see some proof. You might be able to pull that with her. You ain't gonna pull it with me. So call me back when you can show me, hey Jason, I am enrolled. I have started my first class. Now I'm on the way to it. I've started my first class. That's when I want to hear from you.
All right. Will do.
We'll be waiting.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, fellas, y'all got to understand. Mama is sitting there looking out for her daughter, and if she sees that you're not producing, yeah, mama's sitting there conspiring. Mother is sitting right there conspiring. I'm going to be the excuse for my daughter to keep this other nigga circling around. Yeah, because she cute enough to pull one more. She might be cute enough to pull one more dude. She got the 4 kids with this fella, but she might be cute enough to pull one more. Caller from area code 317. Why are you playing on my phone line?
Hi, Mr. Jason. This is Maurice calling from Indianapolis, Indiana.
What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to mention I watched the last broadcast you made about black women quitting jobs in 2021, and I noticed off of listening, a lot of people like to argue and go back and forth with you while hearing the facts, whether it's man or woman. It's facts, whether, nobody likes to hear, but you give them the business. But I've been listening to you over a year, and there's nothing you've said that is wrong. When you know and hear the truth, you feel the value of it. It's never really too late to learn anything as far as, the rapper DaBaby. He showed his power displacement towards, quote unquote, his side chick. It's like you said, the sun is going to come up, whether or without her there. And I think it was wrong for disrespecting his mother's child on live, but at the same time, he's got to protect himself, and her going back and forth with this man ended up making herself out of a fool. So if you're going to be the side chick, as you best say, Mr. Black, be the best side chick you can be. She knew the deal when she laid in the bed with this man. So, from just listening to you, I'm just here to listen and here to learn, lay down my skill set, double my income. I'm only 23, just trying to listen to the message and, make the right decisions.
Well, she certainly didn't do herself any favors, because here's the real thing. The real thing is, you're not dealing with a dude who's going to miss you like that. I mean, if he's been through a bunch of females already, pair bonding is out of the question with this dude. So the real thing is, he values, like any man, he's going to value peace and quiet, and he's going to value, a female who upholds what he's doing. So a bunch of defiance and stuff, that's not going to do nothing for him. The reason why it would have been better for her to leave is only because it would reduce the amount of friction. Because all you've really done is create a situation where, you've increased the level of conflict and escalated. And that ultimately it doesn't serve your purposes. You got to have a purpose. And ladies, understand something.
Yes, sir.
Don't lay down with a fella from a position of weakness. That's why she would be in a much better situation if she didn't have the baby. By that, I mean the child. She'd be of course, she could probably offload him too, by the way. The rapper too, by the way. But she'd be in a much stronger position if she didn't have the child. If she was, because
that's where it starts.
Because she wants to sit here and talk about, he's sitting up here, trying to get her pregnant again and stuff like that. But the real thing is, what that means is he's pursuing you. Ladies, as long as the man is pursuing you, you're in the position, you got the leverage. You have leverage as long as he's pursuing you.
And she's got a little bit of money too, so he's not going to have a problem with getting her pregnant over and over again. I mean, he's not going to really have too many consequences as getting a broke girl pregnant, right?
Well, no, he doesn't have many consequences because he's already got 4 or 5 chicks pregnant already. So what's one more going to hurt anything? The real thing is whether or not he wants you for something beyond that. And right now, she hasn't demonstrated that clearly whatever her usefulness was beyond that, he's over it, whatever it is. So that's the reason why she would have been better off not having the child, because as long as that's the situation, she at least would have demonstrated she's different. He wants to get you pregnant, but you won't let him. So that's your leverage to get other things. Ladies, if a man wants you to have his child, the immediate answer is hell no. That's when you have leverage. You can't sit up here and be blowing out a bunch of kids and then talking about the leverage you got. Child support is not leverage. That's not going to give you anything. Your leverage comes by getting this man to make a commitment to you. Commitment to a child is not commitment to you. You want this man to go to work for you. You don't want to be sitting up here fighting in court and going back and forth, and he's sitting up here pulling child support and dumped you with a bunch of kids and whatnot. There's the other problem is, because how is she going to re-enter the sexual marketplace with DaBaby's child? We already saw this crap show with Amber Rose, Amber Rose, Black China, so on, split Brittany. Yeah, you're not going to be able to go back into the sexual marketplace. This is it. You DaBaby's chick, and that's it. So you've lost all your leverage. So the smartest thing for her to do would have been to never have the child in the first place. Or if you're going to do it with this nigga, then at least you should be the one who actually gets him to commit to you, and that means marriage only. So the chicks who don't have any respect or regard for marriage, y'all are a lost cause. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 346. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Linda, and I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Linda from Houston, what's on your mind?
I was listening to your broadcast, and it is obvious that Stevie J was using Faith Evans for clout, trying to get his career off the ground because of the past that he had on Love and Hip Hop. So could it be that he was just using Faith for social media just to be relevant again?
I mean, it could be, but the real thing about it here is a dude don't hook up with Faith Evans like that and move her in his house and stuff. No, dude was cupcaking her. No, this wasn't some DaBaby stuff. He was cupcaking her. I mean, he's serious in what he's saying. Like, for example, if it doesn't bother you, it's like, okay, well, I know I'm with Faith Evans. Why would you get mad if she's been sleeping with another dude? I mean, you with Faith Evans? Damn. How was this a surprise?
Because he was just trying to put her business out there.
Well, I mean,
she was a hoe.
No, because he was invested in her.
My next question is, isn't it obvious that Danileigh just had a baby with DaBaby for the check? Because obviously Instagram will not be popular for her in 5 to 10 years, but she secured the bag with DaBaby.
Okay, let's be very, very clear. She got split that between, her and 4 other chicks? 4 or 5 of the females.
No, I Googled it. He has 2 other kids.
2 other kids that we're aware of?
Yes. So Mimi, his first baby mother, he claims her first son as his stepson. And then he got some girl, a bottle girl, pregnant somewhere.
Well, if there's 2 that you know of, you got to assume there's another one out there. I mean, you're going to have to assume there's another one. You have to.
My last question for you is, I saw your post on Facebook.
Slow down. We have to assume that there's more than that. So, no, these guys never just stop at 1 or 2. They never do. Because what they figure is that I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a pound. So, those are the ones you're aware of. Case in point, though, even taking the face value, you're already splitting the money between other people because this is child support. It's not, this isn't spousal support. A bunch of females get that confused. Next order of business is even that is going to be compromised because remember, she has a career of her own. So that's going to affect even how much quote unquote child support you would get. I think, I want to say they were saying she's from Charlotte, like him. So if she's from the Carolinas, we ain't talking about California, where you can sit up here and just, beat dudes to death over child support. So, like I say, a lot of the leverage you would expect to hear from New York and California doesn't apply here. And her circumstances don't qualify that either. So, with that being the case, no, she had DaBaby with DaBaby because she wanted DaBaby because he found one of these. Like I said, being cute doesn't mean you're smart or sensible. So he found this little chick who was willing to do that. Or at least he found the one who was. So you're a chick who doesn't realize you're about to cash out all your chips and she doesn't have anybody with any sense to talk to her. And you have a lot of females who are they're just young and enamored, and any guy who is popular, they just follow their noses. Your goal as a man, your goal is to find a female who don't just follow her nose. You want a female who is above her peers, not a female who is among her peers. You want a female who is ahead of her time, not a female who's just of her time. And there's plenty of cute females who are just down in the rabble with everybody else of their time. A man's job is to make sure that he doesn't get permanently entangled. Thank you, Jada. Permanently entangled with somebody like that. So right now, like I say, her leverage is really minimal. It really, really is. It's minimal. She doesn't have the bag. Her leverage is very minimal.
Well, it's a steady check for 18 years.
It's a steady check that she's going to have to fight over. It's just a steady check that comes with a fair amount of humiliation. And it's a steady check that we don't even know what the, quote, check would be. She was laying up at his place. And once again, remember, she does have a career of her own, so she's not broke. So once again, that's going to affect how much she gets. So it's not like, I mean, let's just
She'll
be
have
very, very
enough to
clear.
pay her attorneys.
She's not going to be getting no $20,000 a month. That ain't happening. So
with him being a multimillionaire?
What about her money? I've already said that several times. You're not listening very well.
I am listening.
Clearly you're zoning out. I said she has a little old career of her own. She's not broke.
But nothing compared to his, like you said.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with her ability to take care of a child, though. So it's not like child support. You're thinking about, okay, I'm going to say this again. You're not very bright. You're not listening. We're not talking about California and New York. You're talking about the Carolinas. If that's where she's from. If that's where they're at. Which the other baby mama was saying that. Talking about these Charlotte hoes. Okay. If you're talking about the Carolinas, those rules are not going to apply there. So once again, you're thinking about your Hollywood, California stuff. This dude is from the Carolinas. I've said that several times now. So those rules.
Oh, I don't know the laws.
Okay,
in the
okay, thank you. You're thinking about what you've heard with Will Smith. And those rules apply over here. So, and the bottom line is, even child support and alimony ain't doing what it used to do. So that's a different matter. And the other thing is, as far as paying for the child, yeah, that can be for them. But there's ways you can finagle that too. I'm not going to go into that here, but dudes know what I'm talking about. So the bottom line is, all you really have now is a hassle. That's all you really have. And for him, it's not going to bother him anyway because he was never going to be there. All he's concerned about is building up the baby and having a career for the baby. That's it. So it would be worth it for him to pay $5,000 or $10,000 a month to make sure that his child is taken care of because he wasn't going to be there anyway. This was going to be the situation regardless. So like I say, females like yourself don't think these things over. That wasn't going to bother him anyway. You know what is going to bother you? The fact that he's going to be making $100 million and the only access you will have is an allowance to take care of his child. While it will prevent you from ever having another man. Oh yeah, and if she does get with another dude, yikes. So like I say, it's going to inhibit your ability to do those things. All it's really going to do is be an obstacle for her. Here's your allowance so you can
accept her position.
Here's your allowance so you can take care of my child. That's it. You call that a come up? Now you get to take it.
No, I'm not saying it was a come up. I think she was playing her field too long. She's 25, 26, so she figured she's been dealing with him for 3 years now. Okay, maybe I should have a baby, so at least I could get this $5,000 a month since no one knows who she is, like you said. So that's
when you find them find them young and dumb, and she's enamored. So she's a fan who became a baby mama. She's a fan who had a little, I guess she got a little singing deal of her own. Okay, but bottom line is you're a fan. You're a little fan girl who became a baby mama. And now the luster is gone. The shine is gone. The thrill is gone. He's over it now. And that's all. He's over it. Now you are just another number with the rest of them. Not sure what it was you did that caused it to be over, but the bottom line is he's through. He's over it now. It doesn't bother him anymore. And now you're just going to be yet another chick with a kid. And she will not be the last. She wasn't the first. She won't be the last. As a matter of fact, it's in his interest to rack up the kids now because that would reduce the amount she has to get. But even still, that's not going to bother him like that. Because the real thing is, what good is the baby without the man? She's 26 and there's no amount of money that you can give somebody to compensate them for their lost youth. So just understand, as a female, even you should know that. There's no amount of money you can give her that's going to compensate her for that. Because now she realizes, I'm just a broad with a chick with a kid by the baby, and that's not going to be fly with men. There's no fella who's looking to follow up behind that. So it's all fun and games
No.
as long as you were with the baby. Now that you're not with him, the real world is about to come crashing in. You're going to have to come back out here and convince the rest of us that you're no longer Danileigh. You're the baby's third baby mama. That's what you are. And now you're going to have to
she could have a hit song about him, and
you're going to have to
maybe
convince
make a
or
couple-
entice somebody to take you up on that offer. That's not a very attractive offer to a man who's got his act together and got resources. That's not very attractive. What man who's making $250,000 a year can't wait to follow up behind the baby? Come on. So how much money can you give somebody to compensate for that? And she no longer has access to the millions. That's an insult. Here, why do you think these hoes keep going back to California court and New York court trying to grab as much as they can? Because the lifestyle came from the man, not from the children. And you're not going to get anybody else to compensate for that. And you're sitting on a damn ticking time bomb. You're going to be wrapped up for the next 18 damn years. That ain't a place to be. She'll be over 40 by then.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to be able to re-enter the sexual marketplace and get anything. She left all of her chips here. And just like she didn't realize how dumb a decision it was to get pregnant, she's now going to realize it ain't no come up and being no baby mama. Show me the happy baby mamas. Show me one rapper who has a happy baby mama. Show me one.
Shawnee O'Neal.
That's a rapper?
No, it's an athlete.
Okay, what did I just say?
Baby mother. You said rapper, but I'm thinking entertainer. Like happy baby mother. Shawnee looks very happy.
Wasn't she married? Wasn't she married to Shaquille?
Yeah, she secured the bag with the marriage.
Okay.
Correct. She's not a baby mama.
Go to bed.
Excuse me.
Go to bed.
No, I have one more question about your Facebook post yesterday.
Caller from area code 857. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
From Boston.
Okay, you're fighting with your phone. Try it again.
This is Carvin from Boston. Is that better?
Okay, I'm going to try this one more time because you're obviously in your phone masturbating with it. Try it again. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Carvin from Boston. Is that better, sir?
Carvin from Boston. What's on your mind?
How are you, sir? I am calling you because, listening to you for these past couple months has really opened my mind to trying to understand where I'm going wrong and to make myself better in terms of what tangibles I bring to the table. And definitely I've been screwing up because I'm currently 35 years old and don't really have any good job prospects. I'm doing independent contracting right now as a photographer and delivery driver. And basically I'm trying to figure out what should I be doing to get myself back on the right track. To give you a little background information, I was going through some issues because of many deaths in my family. I used to be a surgical technician working in healthcare, but after the death of my mother, I kind of went wayward, and not knowing where I really wanted to go or do with my life, which ended me becoming a photographer, thinking that I could turn my hobby into something a little more lucrative, but I just didn't have the drive to push myself. Oh, you're gonna hit me with that.
You're on live with the wait a minute. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
From Boston.
I hope this is a valuable life lesson I've taught you here. Get to the damn point. What's the question you want to ask me?
Look, I guess the question I would say is how do I even begin to figure out where I want to go with my life to put myself in a better financial situation that makes me a high valuable man.
Okay, the first thing here is brevity. What do you specialize in?
Well, as I mentioned before, I used to be a surgical.
Okay, you said what you used to be. What are you now?
Right now, a photographer.
Okay. And how much money you making a year being a photographer, sir?
Making about $30K.
You're making $30,000 a year in Boston.
That's correct. And definitely not enough.
Yeah, I want you to think those words over for just a few moments and listen to yourself and listen to how that sounds. You ain't even making the black male median income. And you're in Boston, one of the most expensive places in America that is being gentrified to hell, and you are oblivious to it. At the very least, you are completely uncompetitive. And why did you choose photography of all things?
It was something, a field that I liked, and I had some skill in it.
Okay, it's something that I liked, all right? And is it allowing you to elevate your life?
Not to where I want to where I want to be, which is why I'm calling.
Where do you live?
In Boston.
That's not telling me where in Boston you live. Who do you live with?
Well, the situation is.
There you go.
My parents have passed away and left us the house.
So, in other words, you're living off your parents' largesse. That's not a very inviting prospect to any females, men, or anybody else. You ain't built nothing of your own. So, the first thing you need to develop is some confidence. You are completely and utterly lacking in confidence, drive, motivation. There ain't nothing going on here. So, you're going to have to fix that problem first. You are unmotivated to achieve anything in life. You're trying to find the easy way to do things, and you have. You need to start taking on some challenges.
That's right.
That's why you're talking all low and weak and meek and remedial, bro. That's not attractive to anybody. That's not attractive to anyone. Nobody's going to want to bet their lives on someone who's mumbling and barely he's sounding all weak and meek and timid. That's not going to inspire anybody to risk their lives on you. So you're going to have to fix that first and foremost. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
How many?
One sister.
Where are your people from originally?
My family is from Haiti.
There you go. Well, dude, like I say, you're going to have to step your weight up, bro. That's where you're at right now. You haven't challenged yourself. You haven't accomplished anything. That's what's missing. Until you fix that, nothing else is going to happen for you. You're going to have to fix that first and foremost. So you're going to have to give yourself a goal, and you're going to have to achieve it. You're going to have to become a guy who starts accomplishing things. And being a photographer is not it. Now, I'm not here to tell you what you do with your life in that regard. If you wish to be artistic, go right ahead. But you're telling me right now that as a photographer, the most you can crank out is $30,000 a year. You literally could get a job at McDonald's right now. There's places paying paying $18 and $21 an hour. You literally could do better working in one of those places. So you chosen, quote, something you love, but in reality, you've chosen the easy way out. This ain't producing enough, man. This isn't producing. You need to choose something that you like and that actually produces, as opposed to something that you love and it's not producing anything.
It's basically the starving artist.
You sure are.
Troop. And yeah, it's definitely not the business.
Bruh, like, how are you gonna retire? How? Well, if my family left me a house. That's great. It'll give you a very, I guess, a very familiar place for you to be able to, you know, eat your crackers and water, I suppose. $30,000 a year. How do you expect to retire, man? Yeah. And you're in your late 30s. I'm listening.
Yes, I agree with what you said.
Okay, well, you need to you need to do something different. You need to do something different. Either you're not a very good photographer, you're not very productive, but photography is very hard. Every kid and his mama's got a DSLR today, and people don't really make a lot of distinction between quality like they used to. You know, Olin Mills is no longer the only game in town, so you've chosen a very difficult racket to be in, and it's giving you the results you could expect. So either you want to move into videography or something else, but even then you'd have to get a whole new list of equipment, which you don't have.
But it also makes me think that I should probably give the surgical technology another go around.
Okay.
That's in the healthcare field where it's definitely more.
Why'd you leave it in the first place?
Well, it's tough for me to say because my mother had passed away from cancer.
I'm very sorry to hear that. How long ago did your mother pass away?
About 5 years ago.
Okay, it's been 5 years. So at what point do we get our lives back on track? Because that's what your mom would want for you.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so
because
why are we
really
why are we not already gone back to that?
I think mostly because the time that has transpired, it's hard to get back into the field.
Then I suggest you hurry up and get a move on. There ain't nothing happening over here.
Correct.
Right now, I'm seeing a guy who's feeling sorry for himself and stuff. And like I say, your parents really coddled you. And we're seeing the results. He's in his 30s and he's looking for somebody to come mommy him. And that's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. The parents leaving you the house was nice and all, but now it's allowed him to just sit on his ass. But he's not trying to produce for himself. They left him a house. If he had children, he's not trying to leave them anything. He's not even working to do something for that. And what I'm saying is that's not going to resonate with anybody, man. That's not going to resonate with anyone.
That's right.
So
that's right.
You're gonna have to get your act together here, bro. You know, you're gonna have to have ambitions and desires for yourself. I can't give you mine. I can want a better life for me. I can't want a better life for you. You have to want that for yourself.
Thanks.
So that's going to be important for you to do.
That's right.
Now, it sounds like you've been dealing with some issues.
Our brothers.
Okay, it sounds like you've been dealing with some issues as far as your parents are concerned. Have you sought counseling for that?
That's something that I wanted to jump into now.
That's right, because, you know, only weak men go off and get help for their problems. The strong guys sit there and wallow around and get destroyed by them. Yeah, it takes a truly strong man to sit there and so obviously be getting pummeled by his issues. That's what the strong, smart guys do.
I see where you're going.
Yeah. Only the truly weak males actually try to address their issues. The smart ones sit around and do what you're doing, because that's what the bright guys do. The truly intelligent men sit there and ignore their issues and let them metastasize.
Yeah, well, that's just one of the many failures that I've had.
Well, the real thing is to stop talking about, yes, I'm failing, all this old sad sack talk, bruh. You're a grown man. Nobody's got sympathy for that. We want to see you get up and move on it. Everybody's got problems. Everybody got issues. You don't have a monopoly on problems or issues or difficulties. As a man, you're supposed to be showing the world how you deal with problems, how you overcome them, not endlessly repeating that you got problems. You see, a little child can do that, and then adults try to show them how to overcome their problems. You're a grown man. Everybody expects you to have it by now. So just repeating yourself over and over again is not engendering any sympathy anywhere. So if you were calling expecting that I would be able to tell you how to be able to gain purpose in your life, I can't do that. Every individual has to find their own purpose. You have to find that which drives you. And I don't know what that would be for you.
10
but
seconds.
I do know you need to find it. I do know that you need to find something that drives you. Well, I like photography. Okay. Then again, maybe that would be best for you. Have you considered that? Okay, your phone went mute on you there. Okay, he was there, and now he's not. Well, like I say, definitely, it's very easy to start feeling sorry for yourself and get pulled off into that, but folks are not really going to be feeling that with you there. As a man, the world is very short on sympathy for men who don't produce. It's very short on sympathy, very short on patience. And if you got it in your head that, well, don't worry, they're going to feel sorry for me. No, they really won't. No, they really won't. Not because the world is evil, well, because it is, but because as a man, the expectations for you are going to be different. You can't chase after stuff you like. As a man, you have to chase after what produces. You got to do that. You don't have any other way. You don't have any other way. Or he can choose to go extinct. That's an option as well. If he's just like, hey, I don't know what to do. Okay. Well, you have that choice for you as well. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. We've been on here now for going on 4 hours. So I want to thank you all for joining us here. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that laid the foundation upon which all these red pill, MGTOW, high value posers, alpha male frauds, and all the rest of these people have been stealing and ripping off everything that they've been going off and screwing up and corrupting everywhere else. You got the real from it here tonight. Hope we explained to you a few things you didn't know here before. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Make sure you share the program. Yes, I'm leaving this up on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about this disappearing on you here, but definitely go ahead and do that. Very, very important for you to do that here as well. And if you haven't signed up for our Patreon, definitely I do a lot more in depth over there. So you heard people talking about that tonight. Very, very important for that as well. Going to be doing a Patreon program here. Probably going to have, well, to be totally honest with you here, I want to do another open line Friday as well. I want to do. So I don't know if I'm going to do a Fill Me In Friday, which would be on Patreon, and open line Friday. I'm not really sure what that'll be, but definitely looking at that there. But also having a Patreon program coming up as well. And some new changes will be coming in store for the business here. So I can't wait to get those kicked off as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. This concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.